we got to put up some sort of blog post or something with all of our Tabaxi modifications that are more interesting than basic Tabaxi.
It's true.
We got to do that someday soon.
Well, there's like 2 pages about them in Volos, and I feel like we've come up with more than that.
Yeah, we have slightly more than 2 pages of material. So one of these days we'll put up stuff about Tabaxi. Maybe that can be one of our cool things we can do. When people put up a certain amount of stuff and are cool to the channel, then we will do some Tabaxi guide. Okay, hey Will, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I play Lieutenant Arvin Bly. He is a human cleric. His favorite color is beige.
That seems really
That's
likely.
beautiful.
That's the best favorite color ever.
I know, right?
Oh, man. Just ruining all the fun over here. Hey, Sean.
Hey, I'm Sean. I play Theophraxis, a gnome gunslinger. And his favorite color is not beige.
It's okay to change that if you want. We can have more than one person with the same favorite color.
Well, now I feel like
Well,
we
now I
didn't
feel
get
like
to
I
say
have-
our favorite
I
colors.
know, right?
Okay,
I
so
was
your
just
favorite
being
color.
negative. Well, there's my favorite color and there's Theo's negative favorite color. So
Which one are you
I'm
gonna
really
be-
kind of torn.
Okay, well, let's go with
Let's
Theo's
just say
right now.
green.
Okay.
We won't tell you whose favorite color that is, but
Well,
it's green.
I'm going to loop back around now to Allison so we can find out what Ember's favorite color
okay.
is.
I think she would tell people outwardly it's red, but secretly it's gold. But she's not allowed to say that where she's from, so.
Nice. Okay, I like that. I get where that's going, and someday other people will too. Hey, Kat.
Hi,
So what's Aurora's favorite color?
Cerulean.
And that's that, like, that is this color, right? Is that what we're going
Yep.
with? Yep, that nice pale blue. Very cool. Okay, so because I did this last time and I enjoy it, this is entirely about me. I'm going to talk about my GM goals, DM goals for today. I'm going to give inspiration, say yes, look for option B, and create challenges. We also are using the X card. If you're not familiar with the X card, Google it. There's an X card that Kat is holding up.
Put it on their table, they might need it.
You think they're more likely to need it than you guys? Okay. Yeah, I mean, whoever wants to X card, I mean, it would be really better if I just did 2, so...
Just in case
I mean,
someone's
let's
not
face it.
reaching.
Yeah, but now you gotta draw an X on a
I know it is.
card.
I know, and then you gotta put it over
Here's
here.
what I'm going to do. I'm going to
It's
outsource
just
to
really.
Allison because she has a pencil and it looked like she was about to offer.
So you're gonna charge like 4 times the amount that actually.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it
Contractor.
goes over
Wow.
there. So it's cool. So if we need X card, we X card. If we don't need X card, hey, we did our part. That's the important thing, is we want to have a fun game together. Okay, so those are my goals. So giving inspiration, I have all these lovely, very large Arcanite minis that our characters are just not tier enough to really need to kill like a gigantic lich skeleton that's made of a giant or something. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it looks cool, right?
Can I see it?
Yeah, sure, but you don't get inspiration. You just get to see it.
I just want to see it.
Right. So, anyways, because I love dinosaurs, and because last week we ended on kind of a high note, where we were trying to figure out like what were the ramifications of our final let's say decisions in stream and what would happen to people, I'm going to give inspiration to Will. Will,
Yay!
Triceratops, for your heart-wrenching portrayal of Lieutenant Arvin Bly at the end of last season. He hasn't gotten demoted. It's just
I can be demoted. It's fine.
I know you're good with it.
I
But
probably deserve it.
anyways, he was kind of broken up over the fact that there were potentially many people that died during the last act. So
So many.
Quite a bit.
you guys actually have no ideas whatsoever, right? So what a great lead into our game, but enjoy your inspiration in the form of Triceratops. Yes. Okay, so previously, this is a long previously. Sorry, there's a lot that went on. That is not the button I want. Great, Hans. Thank you for that. Let's continue on like this. There we go. More or less blowing up cat sound. Okay. Yeah. While resting in the Ice Palace, the party encountered the half-orc bard Drove. Drove was fearing facing the labyrinth on his own, so he asked the party if he could join them when they moved against Vela. The party took an elevator to the second floor of the Ice Palace, where they faced a magical mirror that showed them images of their past and images of Vela before her transformation. Aurora saw her family, her father raging about the Tabaxi Council. She saw Vela being punished for her failures as a magician. Theophraxis saw his burrow destroyed by orcs. He saw Vela as she learned her lands were being destroyed. Ember saw her mentor, Aelin, when she took her from her home and mother. She also saw Vela committing herself to Golthias in exchange for power that would preserve her land. Arvin saw the moment that he sacrificed himself to save a fellow soldier and was saved in turn by Pelor. He also saw Vela transforming her homeland into ice. After their visions, the party found a magic mirror, an actual hand mirror. They continued on towards the third story of the palace, and on the second elevator, so there's an elevator, second story, third story, get the idea, watch the stream, they fought the Displacer Beast / Spirit Daenor again, destroying it permanently, probably. On the third floor, the party found a room full of mirrors. Aurora decided she was just going to do it the easy way, melted the floor of the room, sending the mirrors to the second floor and shattering at least one. The party traveled down to the remains of the mirrors, went through the mirror into a different chamber, that was somewhere below the Ice Palace. And they were seemingly alone, hearing voices, but the magic mirror showed them that Vela was directly behind them. The party used the mirror to communicate with her. Arvin may or may not have tried to take her place inside of a mirror, and were unable to see her directly. And then there was a seal in the center of the room with an image of a skeletal tree, which we have known as being an image of Golthias. Embers dispelled it, causing the seal to break, and then dispelling the seal caused Vela to become visible, and also summoned an aspect of Golthias to manifest in the center of the room. The party destroyed it, knocked out Vela, but Aurora was petrified in the process.
Boo.
So they kind of went back and forth on Vela's fate. Drove pushed them to end her life by removing a magical necklace that she wore around her neck that also embodied her connection to Golthias. With Vela's death, Drove died as well, and the Ice Palace began to melt. Uncertain of what was happening, the party escaped through to the Infinity Tower, where they found the dining room full of smoke. So when we last played, we had Embers was going to go off to her room, correct? Aurora and Theophraxis were going to the dining hall. Arvin was still downstairs where the door was. I don't recall where you went after that.
I didn't
You
go
were still
anywhere.
there.
I'm still
Give me a
there.
chance, yeah.
So at the scene we have everybody breaking off. Embers is going to her room. As usual, she's kind of on point. She's about her mission to go take care of things. We've got Arvin, who is still there in the room, contemplating what's happened with this entire pocket dimension just being destroyed. And then we have Aurora and Theophraxis who have gone to the dining room. So we're going to resolve the easy stuff first. We're going to deal with Arvin. So,
You and
Wow,
your
when
beige.
getting drunk is the hard part.
so you're there. You're at the base of these stairs, and you basically have no idea what could have happened. You don't know where things have gone. You don't know what to expect of those people's fate. Very loud. Let's bring that down just a little bit and do that again. So Arvin, how's it going mentally for you?
Not well.
What are you thinking about?
I'm thinking about the limitations of my own power to be able to affect change. How I may or may not have aided the Lord of Darkness in consuming an entire dimension or a land full of people. Then again, maybe this was just a test for Palor to humble me, to let me know that there are higher things that I am unable to affect. Whatever it is, though, there is blood on my hands. And I'm still not okay with that.
So yeah, the last scene you saw leaving the tower was the ice melting, the walls of the palace falling down, breaking down. You know that moment that Vela had that necklace removed from around her neck, Drove fell dead to the ground. So one can only guess what happened to anybody else who was in that realm. Whether their connection was legitimate, something they caused, or something that was inflicted upon them. So you're gonna take a few minutes down here and just reflect.
Yeah.
Okay. Embers, anything that Embers is doing when she gets back to her room? Is she just cleaning up, refreshing?
She is kind of pondering what happened. Because now that she is coming to terms with the fact that she's free, she's not sure what to make of what people are like in this realm and how they behave. Because before, when she was a bounty hunter, it was very simple: go do the job. These people benefited, these people didn't. And now she doesn't know who benefits and who doesn't.
So here's another thing that I want to know. Who had the necklace when we ended the last game? This is around Vela's neck.
Aurora took it off and then destroyed it.
Okay. Thought I would check in on
She did. She pulled it off of her, threw it, and then set it
What
on
about the
fire.
dragon
That's right.
necklace? We don't have that either, right? We broke that early.
We never kept the dragon necklace that I know of.
Yeah, because I thought it fell apart or
that.
something.
How many of you guys kept the dragon necklace?
I thought.
I meant those guys. I'm pretty sure you
Yeah.
did keep the dragon necklace.
Yeah, I did.
'Cause those are the only two necklaces, right?
There was
I
Vela's
mean,
necklace, and then there was the
Yes.
Dragon-
the
Dragon
choker
print
of dragon
choker
hide
that was
with blue
blue.
stones on it.
Yeah.
Yes, I
No.
believe
Yeah.
that is yours.
I know that Aurora destroyed Vela's necklace.
You're right, and I remember that now. I've gone through it. Yep. Okay, so Arvin and Embers, we kind of know where you're at and what you're doing. So Aurora, Theophraxis, you've walked into the long, formal dining room of the Infinity Tower. This is the 47-person table, long room, and the ceiling is vaulted, so it's maybe 13, 15 feet high. But right now, there's like a gentle, deep black rolling smoke going across it, so it's not in any way subtle. And it's coming from that small preparatory room in the back.
Well, I'm going towards the small
Yeah.
preparatory room.
Check it out.
Michael's in for Wednesday, by the way.
Yeah.
Michael is? Okay.
In a good room, is there a door closed? Or is it an open door?
It's an open door, which is why that smoke is just billowing out through the roof of the room into
I'm
the
going
next
in.
room. Okay, so you go in.
Keeping my perception
Yeah,
up,
I mean,
looking around.
we
making
both
sure-
were. Yeah.
Yeah, same deal, right? So you're just going in. Are you just walking in as fast as you can go, basically just running
Yeah.
down that hallway?
Oh, yeah.
Any cool acrobatic tricks? Are you like running down the top of the table? Or are you
Well,
just
yeah,
going-
I mean, I'll backflip down the table.
You gotta like backflip down the table and like hang by the edge of the door lintel and things
Yeah,
like that. Okay,
you know.
gotta have some fun.
like she
We're playing
does.
the amok.
Yeah.
So and of course she's much faster. So sorry about that.
I get
That's
that.
just how it is at this point.
Yeah, I'm 20 faster than
Squat
you.
nimbleness. That's-
Without
that's
any
the next one on
fancy
the list.
speed throwing in there or anything
Right.
like that. So yeah, there's a lot of good fastness here. You get into the room, it's a shambles.
Okay.
Not like things have been knocked down to the ground, but things are piled on top of each other, and it just looks like disaster after disaster. There are like long metal sheets that have crusts of like a blackened bread or something like that, just thrown one on top of the other. There are a lot of crocks that look like they held soup or some sort of food where they're just around the edge, it's just a rim of black. And everything is just kind of stacked one on top of another, and there is an oven, like a wood-firing oven, that just has smoke rolling out of it, huge clouds. And in the corner, scrubbing furiously in robes that look like they were once white and now are like kind of a mottled black, like a Dalmatian, is Faxburn. And he has his beard thrown over his shoulder and is like scrubbing as hard as he can at something behind him, it looks like. Just like going like this over and over again. And while he's doing that, there's smoke just rolling out of this kitchen.
Okay, I am
What
going
sheet
to
is
use
that?
my elemental archetype ability to snuff the flame in the stove.
Oven goes dark. And there's still smoke, but it doesn't seem like it's as
Right.
Am I in there yet?
prominent. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll go over to Faxburn, what's up? What's happening?
And he turns around and he looks flustered. His eyes are like large and bloodshot with smoke. His face is just smudged and everything is just, he looks very discomposed. His beard is thrown over his shoulder. His hair is fraggly and kind of like, it's been too humid. It's gotten kind of like frizzy. And he turns around and looks at you.
What's happening?
Theo, Aurora, dinner. And he turns around and he's holding a large black pot that looks like it is now considerably more black. This doesn't look like it's a cast iron pot. It looks like a pot that has been blackened by very poor cooking. And he's standing there and lets it drop on the counter. Wipes his hands on his robe.
Everything okay?
I hope you weren't hungry.
It's okay. I got rations.
And it smells pretty terrible in this kitchen. It just smells like somebody cooked the worst bachelor meal they've ever done. You know, everything is like black, char smelling, you know how it goes. And there's the oven is just covered in food remnants. The prep counter, it looks like he's just like left carrot tops and like a fish head and things all over. Just everything looks terrible. It looks like he walked into Bachelor Pad from hell.
So is this cooked for your construct day?
What?
Where's Gadsfell?
Where's Gadsfell?
Oh, not here. Not here. So there's.
Typically, it's the one that does this.
Not complaining. I just want to make sure everything is okay.
I would. Yeah, I shouldn't really be this. Are you? Do either of you cook?
Yes?
Yeah, kind of.
You might want to do that for yourself from this point forward because
Would you like us to cook something for you?
I've been trying to do that for a while, a couple hours.
Yeah.
Well, how are the wine and alcohol stores doing?
I would imagine fairly similar. I don't really drink very heavily.
All right. I guess I'll cook something.
But do you? Neither of you. You don't carry any sort of herbal teas or anything, do you?
That would have been the barbarian.
Talking to the wrong person. That's all.
Yeah, I don't really drink hot salad water.
Do you know how to get the? It's like alchemical remains. Do you know how to clean up a pot when you cook something and it boils over?
Yeah, I can do that. Sure.
Can you show me how?
Sure.
Don't you
Sure
know
enough.
prestidigitation?
Not really.
I don't know. Look at me.
Never seemed very useful.
Fair enough.
And now I can see how it can be useful.
You can leave the cleaning to me. I'm pretty adept at it.
Okay. I cook.
Okay.
I'll throw something together.
Faxburn is the worst observer ever. He is constantly walking back and forth between the two of you and asking you very basic questions. This man has clearly never prepared a meal in his life. And although he understands how to alchemically distill formulas, he does not understand why you cannot leave the pot on the fire for so long, or why the lid can't be on it, or why you have to chop things up into such small pieces. And he does not know how to clean any of the dishes that are in this building properly. Basically, he has ruined several things, making whatever he was trying to do. And it looks like this has gone on for some time.
This is gonna.
So if there was a very large trash can, it would probably be the best way of cleaning up this particular problem.
Wow.
I'm gonna
I'll
I'm
just
gonna give
observe all
the
this.
sorry first.
Okay.
I'm gonna give the cleaning my best go using my elemental attunement abilities. So like using like a combination of water and like if I can find any sand, I'll actually be using sand to clean it, or salt.
Okay.
Either one of those, because that will usually clean stuff that's burnt.
Do you want to roll this to see how impressive this is going to be?
I guess I have no idea what I'm rolling.
I
but
think you should just roll it like you've got your proficiency modifier added to a d20.
okay,
And dexterity.
all right. 13.
13. Faxburn probably would have rolled a 3 in that same
Right.
scenario. So whereas he has ruined several things, you have made all of them better. And if you've ever seen a pot where somebody has cooked in it and now it has like these black stains on the bottom and like on the outside,
Mhm.
but it's still functional, that's what you're ending up with at the end of the day.
Yeah.
He has no idea how to regulate the temperature of dishes, but he did manage not to ruin like good steel and so forth. So there's that.
Awesome. I'll cook something very basic, some sautéed mushrooms and maybe some eggs, or something simple that I can just crack it, throw it in the pan, and just let it simmer, and then
Something gnomish.
something no more obviously something gnomish, yeah.
He
By
he
default.
is leaning over your shoulder like with his beard edges touching your forehead this whole time, and like mumbling to himself and talking about like temperature and reagents and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
I'll get annoyingly technical and engineer accurate with my descriptions for him.
And when you're talking about things like heat and degrees and so forth, he's talking about things like it just doesn't come across the same way to him. He's talking about like
3.3 seconds.
transfiguration.
No
But the alteration
transfiguration
of the
there.
nope.
You don't know. It's just heat.
But it's clearly altering the chemical properties, not chemical properties, the properties.
Yeah. Well, sure, but you pay attention to your nose, and when the hairs in your nose twitch just right, you know it's done.
I don't think that applies to him.
Him, beard. You have nose hair, don't you? We all have nose hair.
I don't
But-
think that the utility of a human's nose hair is so strong.
No, fair enough.
We're gonna have to make some notes, I think. But
But the first step is to make sure your beard doesn't get in the food.
well, there's that. I've learned that much. It seems like the hard way, but still.
That's the fun way. Cooking is an enjoyment. It's not a job. It's a process.
He goes and sits down at the table outside. Not for me so far.
Once I'm done cleaning, I'm gonna go find whatever raw meat I can find and alcohol.
Okay. Well, luckily you know where to keep the raw meat and alcohol.
Yeah.
So the stores are not what you would like them to be.
In the same
But there is raw meat and alcohol.
Okay.
So okay.
In a blender.
Yeah, it's a slurry.
A
if you will.
slurry of alcohol and meat.
So let's talk about plans.
my
Do you have
meat
more
shake.
stuff that you want to get done in terms of talking to
Meat smoothie.
Faxburn, Aurora? Do you have more stuff you want to get done that night?
No, I think that her entire intention was, doing a nice thing and cleaning the pots, which would justify her going and raiding
You
the
want to guilt
alcohol.
yourself on alcohol and meat. Got it.
That is her basic plan.
Yeah.
She doesn't feel bad about what they did. She thinks it was the right thing to do, so she's not guilt-stricken at all about it.
No matter what, it sounds like Aurora's plan. If
Yeah.
I were to guess.
I, on the other hand, am feeling guilty about it because
Okay.
I put two and two together and realized, okay, well, if we killed her and that killed him, who knows what he was under? And I'm envisioning this sort of pyramid scheme of people that we have now killed.
Yeah, and Arvin had kind of a breakdown moment at the end of the last
And
session where he made it pretty clear he had thought of that too. So it was,
Yeah, I mean, I'm
probably
actually in the
everything.
same place, except instead of sitting on the floor and like praying about it. I'm going to the kitchen and drinking about it.
In fact, Brent's taking all the fun
And
out of
shoving
being in the
food.
kitchen because he's like poking at food experimentally and making comments about it, and it's just, you know, it was a lot of work getting that kitchen to the point where you could cook something.
Yeah.
That was a whole lot
It's
of
alright.
people that were better off dead who wanted to die, so.
Okay. Anything further you want to get accomplished that night?
I'm just gonna kind of relax. I was thinking about having a discussion about what happened, but I don't think anyone's really in the place for it, so I'll just finish it.
Laura will
for
talk to you
tomorrow.
about it.
Yeah, I know her well.
She's already talking about it anyway.
All right. Well, if you want to hit it for the next morning, you can always hit it the next morning.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll just try to relax and just keep in my thoughts and figure out what we need to be doing next.
Okay.
We do need to go back to Eastkeep to get your head chopper thing,
Yep.
and I want to enchant my rifle at some point.
Yeah. That, and she wants to pick up her dwarf books too. Now that we have a separate bag of holding.
Yeah, I'm just putting that out there, stuff that we can't forget to do.
Yeah.
And she knows that they're safer with her and won't get weird evil things put in the same bag.
So we are at the next morning, basically the next time after Bree slept. Hey, Arvin, you're up first.
What? Yeah, always.
I'm assuming I spent the night before cleaning up my gear and cleaning up myself after the campaign and whatnot.
Yeah, if that's what you did, that's what you did.
So I'm going to go ahead and head down to the kitchen and go prepare myself something simple, gruel, bread, butter, whatever, breakfast.
Okay. The kitchen's terrible. Not because of the fact that it's still messy, but because there's very little of anything. There is some butter. The bread is old. You have very few options in terms of breakfast foods.
It's no worse than what I've had to eat on the field.
Oh, did you go to the pantry?
I didn't go into the pantry yet.
Everything is really low supply-wise. Yeah, in terms of the actual kitchen, the kitchen is basically the pantry.
Oh, okay.
Like the real prep kitchen. So in the pantry,
Yeah, Rora's asleep in there.
clink, 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 clash, crash.
It's my chainmail of silence. What are you talking
That's
about?
right. One of these days, man.
As she sleeps through it.
Okay, so you made it through. You found, again, just the stores are really low. There's not very much of anything. You got your simple breakfast.
Mhm.
Where are you going to eat that?
I'm just going to eat it at the table.
Okay, so you go back up to the big formal dining room, sit at the table, eat your breakfast. Is Ember sleeping in? Is she getting up fairly early on?
What time is it?
It's morning of some kind. It's kind of hard to tell in the tower. You guys probably bedded down at like 7 p.m. last night, so...
So she's gonna wake up early then, and she's going to make a door and go to town.
Okay. What town?
What she figured is the closest and biggest.
I mean, you know, all sites are relative, so where do you want to be?
Town with lots of people, just densely populated.
Okay. So you end up in some town. Are you going to bother to find out what the local landmarks or anything like that are, or are you just going stealth mode, trying to get done what you want to get done?
She's going to, because of her bounty hunter status, she's going to kind of use like her knowledge and skills of the area or skills she has to try to navigate the area to find a way to like kind of make a connection or find the right people to basically ask questions about like getting information from any sort of realm or in places around the area.
Okay. And what kind of information do you want to get from these people?
She wants to learn two things. One, if there's news of like mysterious deaths, like people just suddenly dying. And then two, if anyone's heard of basically Ayla. She doesn't use the name, but she describes her.
Anyway.
Aylin, sorry.
No problem.
You've written as an N.
Okay, why don't you go and make an history roll? Unless you can think of a skill you think is more appropriate for this.
Well, I have ear to the ground. You are in frequent contact with people in the segment of society that you're choosing queries move through, which probably not be in the right area. But
Okay, well, let's say you don't even have to worry about that. Let's just talk about where you want to land world-wise. Do you have any sort of parameters you're giving the tower? You're just kind of letting the tower do whatever.
I'm kind of going to let the tower do it.
Okay, cool. We'll just deal with that. So,
Trust the tower's intelligence.
okay, and that'll be an interesting choice. So we hit the thing. Yeah, how come I can't hear the sound beef loud enough? Let's do that thing. That's what I want. I want to hear portal sound. Okay, so now that we have managed to make some portal sounds happen, you found yourself in a large open air market. The sky above is all fire. You've been here before.
I think the loop might be short.
I take my cowl and put it over my head to cover my horns.
So all around, everything is fire. Where you would normally see like clouds in the sky and things would be like a pleasant blue color, everything is shades of red with like strong streaks of like purples and oranges. But it is a busy, loud marketplace. It's kind of tough for you to stand out only because of the fact so much is going on.
Sorry, we're all laughing because this loop is ridiculously short.
The sound. You want a longer portal sound?
Listen,
Oh, I got it. Okay, you know what, guys? Thank you. I appreciate that.
there we go.
It's fixed.
No, bring it back.
It was kind of fun. I can bobblehead to
Well,
it.
What's really wrong with this town?
You know how they say there's rooms are a conversation? It's nice when you guys finally let me in on the jokes. So thank you. Okay, so huge marketplace, tons of people around. You have like a general humanish type person. There's some people who are clearly like half Jinn. There are a few tieflings around to be sure, and there are also a lot of metallic skinned dwarf looking people, but they all have like fiery top tails in place of hair. So there are a lot of unusual beings here. There is also an evidence at least one fire giant somewhere off in the distance.
I guess I'll get to kind of like the closest inn or.
Yeah. You can find places where there are like
I'm
general.
not sure what I'm supposed to be doing.
There's general like wine houses and coffee houses and so forth around where you can stop and you can talk to people and that's what they do. But you're probably not on the Prime Plain.
Okay.
So this is probably the city of Brass from the previous visits here.
Okay, I'm just gonna kind of like see if there's any sort of like news outlet or anything like
Yeah,
that.
you could probably go to some place like a coffee house and introduce some people and talk a little.
Okay, I do that.
So, okay. All right, and you're basically able to find out that there in that particular area, they haven't heard of any unusual deaths that have immediately happened. There is at least a rumor of Ayla. She was, after all, this is the area you got deposited in, where she ran her scan. So they're aware of who she is,
Mhm.
and she does maintain her infamy.
Okay, so what are the rumors saying?
Well, amongst other things, that at some point recently she stole something fairly precious from a fire giant and left behind someone in the dunes. But that's a little much, right? In terms of more recent than that, she hasn't been seen recently in the city of Paris.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the topic.
That's easy. Now let's see if this music segment is long enough to keep everybody's interest. Okay, there you go, guys. Enjoy. And then we have tower music. See, look how easy ambient rubs is to use. All you have to do is have people laugh at you for a while and you'll figure it out. Okay, you have returned to the tower. Any more outings planned?
Probably, but in a little bit. Right now, I'm just like I'm getting my bearings and getting ready to I'm thinking of a way to like figure out who this fire giant is and something stolen from Ayla, and then I'm gonna go talk to them.
All right. Okay, so Arvin's eating breakfast. Theophraxis is sleeping soundly for several more hours.
Probably get up. Well, if I went to bed at 7 p.m., I'll probably be up.
You guys are probably more like 8, but sure. It was kind of an early night for me with all your
Yeah,
excitement.
because usually we're going to bed like at 2 or 3 in the morning.
Knowing you guys, yeah. And Aurora probably still managed that, but who knows? Depends on how
That's
much meat there was.
Really likely.
So yeah, I'll probably get up like 8,
Okay.
7, 8.
Yeah,
something
so
like
you're up somewhere after this has occurred, where Arvin is possibly
down.
still contemplating things at the table.
that. Go downstairs.
Okay,
Go to the dining room.
right. So Arvin's there.
You still there?
If I'm still eating,
You're still
yes.
there. Sure. Let's keep it interesting.
Good morning. Anything left? It's kind of sparse last night.
I found flour, butter, and old bread. Perhaps you can make some croutons.
I'll give it a shot. I'll try some pancakes. They may not be that great, but I'll give it a shot. Let's make some pancakes.
You make pancakes.
Awesome. So, have you thought about our next steps?
No.
Have you been thinking about our last steps?
Yes.
Yeah. How you feeling about that?
I don't know.
Yeah. Me neither.
This is the part where I should be asking you how you feel, but I don't know if I really care to know.
Oh, fair enough.
It's nothing personal.
No, I understand. It's a weird place right now. That's why I drink sometimes.
I understand.
I do have a definite need to go back to Eastkeep though. I want to surround myself with people I know just to remind myself that there is something out there, something worth doing this for.
That sounds like a good plan.
You guys sound real gloomy. We have a serious problem. We're out of wine. What are we gonna do about it?
Well,
Also, why are you in my bedroom?
this is actually the kitchen.
Oh shit.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Expensive things.
It's okay. I understand.
Yeah.
Um,
You guys seem really down in the mouth. What's up?
Perhaps we can see about restocking this place as a way of thanking Faxburn for his hospitality and suffering our presence.
That should be doable. We could probably go back to Eastkeep, get some business taken care of, and then relax for a little while, figure out what's happening next.
You guys all have a very interesting sensation at this point. There are large, like this, like oval moonstones mounted on the walls. They're a new addition, but until now they didn't seem very interesting until you all of a sudden you hear, Embers, can you hear this? Embers, can you join me in my study, please? And it's clearly Faxburn's voice.
I tap on one of them and go, Embers isn't in this room.
Hello, Aurora. Yes, this is a general, I don't know what I should call this. It's an alert. It's like a sending. Do you know what a sending missive is? It's like a missive system.
So a remote voice.
Is this an
sending thing.
Ember alert?
You have to put your hand on the stone to speak.
Is this an Ember alert?
Yes, I'm looking for embers.
Okay, stone. Well, she's not here.
I'm hoping she'll hear this wherever she is. It should go throughout the tower. By the way, you can use the system now if you need to talk to people in other rooms.
That's good to hear.
I'm going to come down and look at that one later.
Okay.
So mean to an old man. That's fine. Okay, so Embers, wherever you were in the tower, you managed to hear all of that.
I'm very tempted to say Emperor's had on, like, you know, headphones really loud, listening to punk music and just bashes. No.
Yep.
Okay, she kind of
Yes.
just sort of,
You know what's like in her realm.
Yeah, really.
and then was walking over to Faxburn.
Okay.
You rang. Or Moonstone.
Right. So he's got that big dark wood desk, and he always has some books spread around. Now it looks a lot worse than the last time you were there, because about half the books that were on the shelves over to the inside have been taken down, and they're like resting on the little side table and the chair and behind the desk and on the floor in piles. And a lot of them are open and just left open. Oh, Embers. Did you heard the system then? The missive.
Yes.
All right. It's not perfect, but I've noticed that we seem to have some trouble with, all the rooms are very separated in the tower. And with so many people here, we might need to occasionally find someone without going and directly find them. It's kind of an inconvenience.
So very efficient system.
Well, provided that it works. I think there's a problem with the one in the pantry, but I'll look at it later.
Can it be muted?
What do you mean?
Just say someone were to get a hold of it and like blast music really late at night. Can people mute it?
We're talking about Aurora, aren't we? Yes.
Talking about anybody. Could be anybody I'm talking about right now.
Like Aurora, and possibly Theopraxis together.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't build it that way. It's an oversight, isn't it? By quite a bit.
At that point, there's a loud that goes
It
through the
may
system.
take a while to address that shortcoming.
You might want to take it offline for the time being.
It's kind of expensive. I really wanted to keep it up, and oh wow, I should have thought this through better. All right. Well, they're not easy to take down. Yes.
Just cast like a spell on it, like a spell of silence for a moment or
The
something.
good news is I didn't put them in any of the bedrooms,
Okay.
except mine.
So you wanted to see me?
So at this point, I don't know what's going on, but I'll go up and put my hand on there and say,
Yeah.
"Hey, Faxburn, we're going to be going into town to get supplies. What do you want? Do you need anything?"
Theophraxis, yes. There are actually quite a few things I would like. How long are you going to be gone?
However long it takes.
I had some basic questions I wanted to go over with you. I'm meeting with Embers right now in the study. Do you want to join me here?
Sure.
All right. Do you know where Aurora or Arvin are?
I'm still in the kitchen. I mean, how much time has passed?
They're probably standing.
We're
next
still
to you.
there.
Oh, okay, we are
I'm
still
making
there.
fun of Aurora is blowing raspberries into the
Yeah.
system right now.
Yeah, Aurora's standing right next to me,
Um,
playing around with one of these other stones, and Bly's here too.
Yes, I was wondering if maybe you would all like to join me at the same time. That might make things quicker if you're going to go on a trip.
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Are there mushrooms?
No.
Why not?
I think the pantry stores are fairly low right now.
Hi.
Hi, Arvin.
Just kind of standing there, like.
No, that's the point. That's why I asked about the mushrooms.
We can get mushrooms. It's okay.
I can make a list.
That'd be a great idea.
All right.
Anyway, we'll be up there in a second.
Okay.
Awesome.
So this isn't a very good idea, was
It was a great idea until people came into the tower.
it? But the only reason I needed it was because there were so many people in the tower. Without Gadsfell around, it's a lot harder to get things like this accomplished.
What happened to Gadsfell?
Um, I'm not trying to make you feel bad, but do you remember when you asked me to deliver that message for you to your former employers?
Yes.
Gadsfellow didn't return from that message delivery.
Hmm.
A fire giant isn't likely to take well to a 4-foot-tall clay robot. Golem. Not robot. That's a terrible word for it. Automaton. And I think that it did not receive the message with due kindness.
The message was being sent to relatives of the Hags.
But through your employer or whatever term you
Yeah.
prefer to use.
Person who gave me my contract.
Torvac, yes.
Does this one work the same way?
Do you really don't respond? Or she'll just stop using it? Or do you think she'll
No.
get more?
Is it broken?
Yes, Aurora, they all work the same way.
Okay.
I'm really going to have to think that over. So long story short, I'm kind of back in a bachelor situation. It's been a while since I had to do all of the cleaning and keeping the house and so forth myself. So there's some challenges there. About this point, how many of you guys are coming to study? Everybody?
Yeah, I'm definitely.
Okay. And you've been pushing every stone you find along the way, or is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
In fact, at some point you heard her go like, "How about this one?"
Yes, Aurora, that one too.
Hey,
Glad
this one
that-
over there. Ask him about that one.
Yep, I'm glad all 7 of those work well. Hey, would you like to come into the study now? You're right outside.
I mean, we could just talk like this if you want.
Would anyone else like to come into the study? Aurora,
Do
can
they
you
work
stand
better
up
if you
to
grab
us?
two at the same time?
Then just
Hello?
We're just holding someone Giffies with both of you doing that, that's all. This is our meeting with the Hill Giant, yes. Okay,
Okay, no, we come in,
right.
or at least Aurora does.
And so Faxburn is there, and again, piles of books everywhere in the room. All the chairs have books on them. The tables have books on them. Everything is a housekeeping nightmare. There are some pieces of food and some things like that that have just been left randomly across the room.
Oh
And a
no.
lot of the residue of these moonstone opals, or ovals that are on the walls. There's a lot of pieces of moonstone lying around there, too.
Wow.
This is a
This looks-
mess.
This looks like my workshop.
Yeah, we've got to talk about your workshop.
There's not grease or anything like that all around it. This is all strictly research materials. It's
Yeah.
perfectly legitimate.
Grease is a research material.
Are you going to be upset if I straighten these up?
I don't have a lot of bookmarks, and there are several books I'm currently referencing, but I couldn't tell you which one without looking at each of them. But I probably don't need the pieces of moonstone or that piece of bread.
Okay. If anybody want that piece of bread, it's perfectly good.
Is
I'm
it?
gonna
Yeah,
pass.
yeah, I'm gonna pass on that one.
She just incinerates the piece of bread.
Oh,
Or there are a lot of books and papers in the room with the fire.
Oh, there's a protective thing.
All right.
There wasn't. I could have got everything.
Do you all remember the cosmological room that has the map of the world tree? Maybe it has a fairly large representation.
we saw that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know that you were, I hesitate to say successful, but your mission went through and that Draysel is no longer on the map.
He's real sad about it.
So we wiped out an entire.
Pocket dimension.
There were some.
Did we mean to do that?
We may not have had a choice.
We were
And so
very
innocent
spec-
and guilty alike are gone.
I don't think there were any innocent there.
Count Melanie.
I mean, he's kind of better off becoming incarnated as something else at this point anyway.
It's hard to say what he would prefer, but it's a very difficult life.
We made a choice for him, though.
If you were born to two parents like his, you had to live with that. I don't really know that there was any way you could undo any of those transformations.
Well,
It's done, it's done.
we can't dwell on it now. It's happened.
I was going to share with you a bit of magical lore I think I've uncovered in regards to the whole thing. You know, there were certain things I was able to put in motion because of Draysel's destruction to talk about Layla and to find out more about her past. I think she actually comes from your shared world. So,
From ours or hers.
I thought I've discussed this before. My research suggests you're actually all from the same world. So, I know that people where you live don't really have a very big picture of the outside world. And people where Embers lives doesn't actually, they don't get very much of a picture of the outside world either because of strict controls. Without this sounding terrible, your people are just ignorant of the surrounding geography. But you're all actually from the same world, same globe. It's round, by the way, it's not flat, just in case anyone ever asks. But
Heresy.
No.
No way. No.
Oh, so she's from the same place that they're from originally.
no, actually, it's
Don't
fairly
remember.
different. But there are at least 4 continents on that world, depending on how you count things. But I mean,
So
all of you come from different regions of the same globe.
So Vela's choices that she made. She came from our world.
Yes, there's a continent that was called Exteria, and it was very close to Valyria. It was actually just to the north. I don't know how much you ever got around or got to hear about things, but have you ever heard about the spot that's above Valyria? There's actually a dark spot, but it is a permanent spot on the world. There's never sunshine in it at all.
I've heard whisperings of it.
It's in the sea to the north, and Exteria is where Vela's kingdom used to be. I guess. Kingdom? Anyways, the place where she used to rule was in Exteria. And with the forming of Draysil, that entire piece of land was taken from the world and cast into a different dimension.
Is it back now?
yeah.
I don't actually know, to be frank, but I do know that when it left, the darkness never left. So this entire time, there has been a spot where there is no sunshine ever on your world.
Someone scooped it out and took it off.
A permanent darkness. And in this case, resting as like a column of darkness going through the sea. Just piercing straight through the vapors of the heavens and so forth, down into the waters, where even in the waters, no light whatsoever in this region.
Huh.
Very unusual.
See, so that's
Clearly
why
not a natural thing, correct?
No.
Clearly the work of a divine power. And we know whose name. So,
hence why Paler would have said that you to fix it.
it's just a magic. Like a
Sense.
dot, like a lance of darkness going straight down through to reach the core of the earth.
Yeah, the player has an idea.
So, anyways,
But I
that's,
don't. Never.
that's where Exteria used to be, and that's a region that was cursed by Zahir ages and ages and ages ago, when Vela was mortal. Exceptional mortal, but seemingly mortal.
Wait, who's the here again?
Zahir. Zahir is the god of darkness.
Oh, right. He's the bad guy.
Right, and he had all the
Right,
high
that
cloaked, or the high collar
Yeah.
cloaked priests during the last session. So, kind of a lot of stuff all at once, but the ending of Drasil helped me draw back a lot of these magical origins. So, I know a little bit more about that now. So, north
So-
of Valyria,
Does your map show what's happening right now, or is it
cosmologically or on your world?
cosmological?
Nothing really else has changed. So, just the removal of Drasil. And
But does it show the Tower of Darkness, this pillar that you're talking about?
oh, so that would be like on a map of your world. You want
Are
to
you
see what
sure?
your world looks like.
Yes.
Well, I'm wondering if it's
Well, I
yes, but I'm wondering though if it's a pillar,
Hmm.
what stops it from pillaring to some other world?
Well, that's a good question. I think it's a fairly limited effect. I think it's a fairly specific curse that Zahir is leveled against that part of the world.
Oh.
And I don't really think that he has the wherewithal in the pantheon of gods to be able to use that anywhere else. I think amongst others, Balin would probably stop that if he was to try to expand it.
Mhm.
And how is he allowed to even have just that little bit of the gods?
I imagine it takes quite a bit of power on that particular world. My understanding is Zahir is not very well known or worshipped on your world in any particular places that you know of. I mean, even amongst the Valyrians, not really popular yet. So,
I've never heard of it. Yeah.
so my thought would be he's exerting most of his energy towards that.
Spreading his name.
I don't think it's really spreading.
I
It's
think
been
given the-
it's been a given cosmological fact or world-based fact, geographical fact for maybe 1,000 years.
All right.
Okay,
Well-
so is it gone now?
No, it's still there.
Time is meaningless to the divine.
Well, and more
Fair
importantly, you stopped something that Gulthias did. You didn't stop anything that Zahir did. Zahir had cursed the place before anything ever happened.
Okay.
Oh.
So, again, my general thought about how this worked, as best I can reconstruct historically, Vela became the queen of the kingdom as a very young person. And when she was becoming the queen of the kingdom, she was supposed to perform certain rituals. She did not perform them well in some way or another. Zahir cursed the land, and then shortly after she took up with Gulthias. That seems to be my understanding of what happened.
So the horrible slave place that you're from is actually on the same circle that I'm on normally.
It appears so.
Valyria is part of the same world, yes.
Well, let's see this map. You said there's a map. I've never seen a map.
How many places have slaves and how many places are free democracies?
Free democracy is kind of an unusual concept in most of the world. I don't really know a lot about your world in great detail. I would say the closest places I can imagine democracy existing. No, to be frank, I don't really know what would qualify as being a democracy in your world. I would say that the Tabaxi, much like the Union of Arms, seem to be more of a meritocracy. And then in terms of the Valyrians, they are definitely a dictatorship, I would say, if we're describing things with these terms. The Union of Arms, it's a military, not even a republic, but something akin to a republic.
And that's what he's from?
Where Eastkeep, the cities like Eastkeep are from, yes. I would imagine the barbarians of the human north, they're probably the northern Tragarians, they're probably about the closest to a democracy because they're either going to do something together or they're not. That's a tough question. And he lays out like a globe map, just a paper map type thing. It's on vellum sheets, it's in a book. And he says, so this is really a rough idea as a sketch. It's something that's generated based on the understandings of the tower, but you have your world here like this. And here we've got Trageria. And it's not a very large continent. It kind of goes from the north to the middle of the globe. So it's kind of like if you can imagine the space it occupies would be kind of like that slice of Europe if you could flip it over. It's got kind of the wrong orientation, but it only goes from the north near the Arctic Circle down to almost the equator. So Trageria is fairly small. And Illyria is more centrally located, and Illyria is basically roughly the shape of Africa, but maybe half the size. But again, small. And then all the way on the other side, and he just flips a page in the book, you have Valyria, and it's roughly occupying the space of Australia. It's more southern, it's very hot, very humid, and which is to the liking of most things there. And he basically just like points his finger at the page and just touches it lightly. That very small black spot, that would be where Exteria was.
So that's north of.
It's basically just north, and it's like the Philippines to the Australia. It's just right above where Valyria is. And then this continent over here, your people don't really interact with.
What's it called?
Austeria. But we'll just leave it like that. Osteria with an O, not Ost with an A.
So can I borrow this and make copies of this?
I would actually prefer you don't, but you could, I guess, make a personal copy if you want. You have to remember that for the people of your world, they don't really look at the world like this too often. Some of the Illyrians do and the Valyrians do, but that's about it.
Ah, sure, but it's interesting. And
So is your entire like home? Well, I guess you grew up in Trageria, so you don't really know. So would you know if his entire home continent is overrun by orcs right now?
It's kind of tough to tell anything about Illyria right now. I'm not really sure what's going on there.
page to the Illyria thing. I mean, what's
He's just showing you like a rough globe map.
It is a
about
rough
the way
globe
that
map.
I described it to you.
okay? So there's like no towns or cities marked off on it. It's just
You know what's funny is in the Trageria there are some little dots there where if you had to guess, they look like the places where there are prominent civilizations for the Union of Arms. There's a dot up on the like eastern part of the world, like roughly like, you know, if we were gonna do the thing, I should just grab people around my point too. It's probably to you, it's probably the Tabaxi Council of Trees homeland or like, you know, major capital. You have no idea where it would be. And there are a couple of dots out in like what looks like the frozen north. But again, not really clear to you what those things would be.
I'd actually be alarmed if he had a dot for the Council of Cats because I'd be like, that's supposed to be secret information.
And that's the thing is this does not seem like it is in any way public information, but none of these dots are labeled, so they don't have proper names. They're just like
Gotcha.
dots on a map. But then on the Illyrian continent, there is nothing. On the Valyrian continent, there are a few dots. There's really 3, and that's about it.
So does the fact that there are no dots on Illyria mean that the area is currently in tumult?
No, it's more interesting than that. Illyria is very heavily magically protected. I honestly cannot scry to Illyria at all. I think the tower might be able to reach there, but I've never tried. It's just one world after all, but there's a surprising number of people that come from it in the tower. Mostly the 4 of you. And Futuria. It's a large number these days.
Oh, Futuria is not here.
no. She went home.
Oh, I keep forgetting.
So in addition to Illyria being flooded with orcs, there is a veil keeping anybody from scrying in, correct? This is what
I
that's what
honestly
you're
don't know
saying.
about the orcs at all, but there's definitely a magical veil.
This is very good information, thank you.
You realize again the difficulty for all of you is you're living in a world where no one else really looks at the entire world. There are a few very dangerous people that know the shape of the world, but very few people, humans, gnomes, tabaxi, tieflings, know the shape of the world. This is an aerial view, like one would get from flying above, if you know what I mean. And it's not something that would be very easy for anyone else to decipher. You really should be careful about how you share this information with people unless you want to be asked a lot of difficult questions.
What would we be asking?
I don't know.
The last time we got asked questions like that, we ended up in jail. Almost got into fights.
It's a lot easier for people to rationalize the way you get this information as being negative than it is as being positive. And unfortunately, there are most people I really would not want to have access to the tower. Who knows what they would do? Imagine if you could show up in anyone's home at any time.
I would confess that even sharing this with my fellow congregation clergy members, knowing what I know now of where Exteria was and what Zaire is doing, I could see them overreacting, to put it
If you want
mildly.
to see exterior by yourself, it might be something safer for a small group than a large group. I think attracting the attention of anything in that area would be poor as a choice, but a small group might make it there. I don't know how pressing that idea is, though. It's important to think about the idea that the way your world reacts and interacts and how things have been put together, you may not want everyone to know that. I mean, again, you can end up places you don't mean to when you just say that you want the tower to take you anywhere. So you have to be careful about what sort of things the tower may interpret for you, or the ways that a given decision might be framed.
Like making a wish. And be careful how you say it.
I know that for most people it's somewhat lore and like a children's story. You have to phrase wishes carefully. But this is a manifest example of how you have to make decisions very carefully in the tower. This is a powerful magical artifact that exists to do your will. And when your will is unclear, it becomes very dangerous to everyone. You've all made good decisions to this point, so I've kept it fairly easy to access. I haven't been exerting any sort of defense to keep the tower restricted. And I would like to remain that way, because you've acted with purpose to solve problems in the universe. It's very difficult to find people that can be trusted with power for whatever period of time. Well, anyways, I just wanted to speak to you briefly about the fact that I noticed that Draco was dismissed, removed, and to just make sure you understood what had happened, and that you knew that it was something I could help you confirm, because I imagine the realm was imploding when you left. Pocket dimensions are not stable,
That would explain what happened.
so that's all really. Whatever happened there at the beginning, imagine it would be like setting up a series of fences or a road. Everything that's described within those fences or that road now has a boundary, a place. It exists in a certain spot. You didn't put it there. When you remove the boundary, the fences, the border, whatever else, you didn't make it go away. It was already taken from whatever it was. And all you did was release the negative energy that was forcing that capture. Do you understand what I mean? That Gulthias had already stolen all of the things that were in Draco. They weren't ever going back. The only thing they could do possibly was feed him more. It was basically like you were in his stomach.
So getting rid of it eventually.
So we
Is a
freed
good
them
thing.
from his stomach.
This is more of a plant idea, I think, than a human idea. But you took a source of energy that someday might have been used by Gulthias, and you forced it to be dissipated. He may have been able to absorb some part of it, but a large part of that power was probably lost.
So Draco doesn't exist in any form at all.
There's no Draco, as far as I can tell.
So not even as like, I wouldn't even know how to describe it, power in any other form, like any essence of it.
There was probably a portion of what Gulthias had planned to make from Draco, like a meal that he was saving, that he was able to immediately engulf, but absorb. But beyond that point, he probably lost most of that energy.
Okay.
So we saved them from a much worse fate.
You saved them from their currently designated fate. You saved the world from Gulthias having access to that power. But they were fated already. You couldn't have done anything that would have saved them from Gulthias, that I can think of.
This certainly puts my mind at ease.
I'm not a religious man, so I'm not a man who embodies religious ideas. I'm not a priest. So I have to admit, this is my way of explaining the energy. I don't know if it makes you feel better about the consequences, philosophically, but it's the most I know about what was going to happen with those people and that energy.
Well, we did meet a few people in there, and for whatever it was worth, even though they don't exist anymore, for one brief moment in time, we did bring them something other than pain and sorrow. That I can accept, and I will sleep much easier now.
Well, there's that.
So, I have some things I want to take care of. If you want to put together a supply list, I can maybe get some stuff for you while I'm out. Okay.
It says food, wine, paper, wood, firewood in particular.
I think I can handle this. Do you have currency to help cover some of the cost, or?
The Azure Room. It's an Azure color.
Okay.
Think about the Azure Room when you go down the stairs. There should be plenty of things there that you can use.
Okay.
Theophraxis, I want to know that his palate probably requires more food than just mushrooms.
Yes.
Do not just buy mushrooms.
Oh, no. I would never buy mushrooms. You harvest mushrooms fresh.
Do not just harvest mushrooms. Buy some things for him to eat.
Sure.
Um,
People food.
Yeah.
And I
Berries,
explained this to Embers
lettuce.
earlier, but I don't have Gadsville around to assist with things anymore. So if you don't mind taking care of some of your own meals and things like making sure that there's firewood for the boiler to run the hot water for the bathrooms and so forth, I need the help, to be frank, because I don't know how to do it all.
Okay.
Not well. He is now wearing at least a different robe than the one he was before, and it looks like his hair is in comb, so there's that. But I had him around for a reason, and he's not there anymore. So if you are planning to go out, everything else runs like normal, and if you think about that Azure Room, you should be able to find some things you can use for barter.
Okay. Cool. You want to come? You have a bag of holding. The easiest way to do this would be to fill our bags of holding with supplies and bring them back.
Well, I got things I gotta put in this bag of holding.
Well, sure. I mean, you know.
I can also requisition a cart once we go back to Eastkeep.
Can we bring a cart through the door?
No, but we can bring a cart to,
To the door. Yeah, okay.
Very good. So have fun with that, and Embers, are you going with them? No? Other plans?
I'm just kind of standing there waiting.
All right. So,
I'm
I'll see
thinking of
what's-
the Azure Room.
okay, you're gonna find the Azure Room. Okay, doing.
I'm gonna go collect my gear and breathe a big sigh of relief of knowing that we did a good thing.
Bigger win in the end.
Totally lame. Got it.
Okay, no, just okay.
Great.
And Aurora.
I'm following him to the Azure Room right now.
Okay, so you guys are gonna find the Azure Room. Embers, are you staying there in the study with Max Room, or are you gonna go do something totally different?
I'm going to talk to him for a little while, and then I'm going to do something completely different. Yes.
Okay, cool. So he's still standing there, and he starts like putting away the map and like muttering to himself and so forth, and then he realizes that you're there still, and says, "Embers." So did you need anything else?
I just thought I would tell you that I will. I want to say it, but I can't remember his name. Gadfell.
Gadsville.
I'm going to fix the Gadfellow's problem.
Well, it's not really a problem. It's just it's tough to appease fire giants when you've taken their bonded servants and you're telling them that they're going to be getting the contracts that they have filled but not receiving any further services. I think it's just kind of a touchy emotional problem for a fire giant.
She kind of pulls out. She just kind of smiles because she doesn't have it on her right now, and she goes, "I have an idea," and then she leaves to go to her room.
All right, hope you and
It doesn't wait.
got it. Okay, so Azure Room. You all wander down the stairs, it turns around, and as you hit that bottom part of the twist, the room is in fact blue in like a very vibrant hue. Most importantly, it has several chests that are just... one of them is like at the point where the latch will not close because you can see gold coins sticking out of it.
Jeez.
So there are probably 6 or 7 chests like that in this room.
Okay. I'll just
There's
out of
also
curiosity.
a large like wooden box, like a display box, that just has a closed lid over the side.
I'm curious about the display.
Yeah, I,
box.
mean,
I
I was
got
gonna
that.
say me too. Yeah, what's in that?
Okay, so you go over, you flip open the display box. In the display box, there is a long, like very nice looking longsword that is laying with no sheath on. And it has the ornate, I don't know, like rondels like this on the side of the hilt. You know, it has like the little like clover pattern like that. Everything chased in silver, and it has blood red stones, like bloodstones here and there at the tips of the guard at the handle. There is a necklace there, and this necklace is like a bluish greenish stone, like I don't know what that is, like a tourmaline or something like that.
Mhm.
And it's on like a very long, wide gold band that's made of very like small, fine links. So there's that. And then there is also a Aurora pick a monk weapon.
A monk weapon.
Yep.
Pick a monk weapon. Any monk weapon.
You want me to pick a monk weapon?
I mean, it could just be a fancier staff than the one that she currently has.
Sure.
Retractable
Fancy
blade.
staff. I was going to go with like a scimitar, but we'll go with a fancy staff. So there's a staff that's made of like a very fine white wood, and the ends are banded with what looks like platinum. And it's like, you know, it's got like a looping design like this. There's not a lot of metal to it, but there's enough where it looks like a very nice weapon. And it's not a terribly long staff. It looks like it's just about the right length for martial arts practice, on the verge of being too short.
Okay.
So all of that is kind of like in this little display box over the side, and then there are the various chests.
So it's a little small for what I want.
It's not like a full length staff, it would be like a short staff.
Gotcha.
Well, we should leave that because we're only here to get gold, but
Yeah.
those are amazing. Okay, I'll just start I'll look at each chest one by one just to get a sort of sense of what they are. Is it just all stuff with coins?
One is all gold, one is all silver. The gold one is the one that's like overfilling. The one that's silver is silver. And it's mostly full, but not nearly as full. And then the next few boxes all have like various stacked up art objects. So there's like one box that's all like turquoise animal statues. There's another box that is like golden torques and crowns and collars and circlets and things like that. And the next couple boxes are all like larger statuary type pieces that look like they're made of like
All this
precious
stuff.
marble and so forth.
I don't know, maybe he kills the unworthy adventurers and takes their gold and objects.
Possible. Those people who stick their noses in his treasure chest and takes what's not there.
Good thing to do with your phone. Okay, so
All right. I'll grab like maybe. Do I have like an idea of how much? What, like maybe 300-400 to cover the.
paper and food.
Well, but firewood, food. Yeah, I mean, well, okay, 100. I'm not. I'm
Like
not
50
fami-
gold, something like that.
Is it would be
Prob-
like 50?
probably
I don't know how
more.
much it costs in this world.
This is a
so
pretty
yeah.
cheap
Pretty
set
cheap
of
world?
things. You're
Okay.
talking about food and wood and paper.
Yeah,
the paper is
supplies.
probably the most important and expensive
And
thing.
wine. He said wine.
Yeah, it's still probably more expensive to buy paper, but yeah, I mean all that stuff you can probably achieve for like
Okay,
50,
so-
70 gold.
I'll grab like 75 gold.
Cool.
And
That's
I'm-
fine.
Yes, Aurora.
So there's some
We're gonna put them in
weapons.
that room.
There's some weapons down here.
Yes, there's probably quite a few things down there.
Are they magical?
Yes, everything down there is magical. Well, maybe not the treasure, but I'm pretty sure all the weapons would be magical and the items you see. Yes.
Can I take the staff?
Yes, sure.
Okay, thanks.
All right.
Can I take the sword?
You can take that sword.
You said, wait, did you say it was long sword or short sword?
Long sword.
Long.
Yeah, huh. Alright, well, yeah, I'll leave it at that for now. Okay, so I'll just get the gold and I'll think of
Thank you.
You're welcome.
think of the room to the door to get back to Eastkeep.
Okay.
And
You
go
headed
down
on to that downstairs area, and then Arvin, is that where you're at?
Yeah.
Okay.
We should
So
see what's in
Arvin is
that
there.
azure room. It's amazing.
Oh, maybe I
Okay.
should have said nunchucks.
Not right
that would
now,
have been
but
kind
anyway,
of
when you
awesome.
get a
Make
chance.
sure to stop
Too
by
late
next time.
now. Now you got a staff.
She got that there.
Well, that's
He's got a
beautiful
staff.
stuff.
And she even asked permission.
Mhm.
Yes, I'm not a thief.
True.
Now that you've been holding it for a little bit, this staff, it seems like it is getting a smidge longer.
Maybe we should get the necklace. I'll get it later.
I didn't ask for the necklace.
No, maybe I'll get the necklace.
I don't care what you take, but you have to ask permission, otherwise you're a thief.
There you go.
Okay, are you all going to Eastkeep?
Yeah, I am.
Who's going to try to open the door?
I will.
I'm
Okay.
playing with the staff,
Go
so
ahead and make an intelligence check.
Uh-oh. Really? Oh, not bad. Just check.
Yeah.
19.
19. Zip.
Magic board.
That could have been a little louder, but okay. So I'm going to cut for you guys for a second, and we're going to find out what Aurora, or pardon me, Embers is going to do, and then we'll come back from that.
Ooh.
So are you ready yet, or not yet?
Yes, she grabbed what she needed.
Okay. And now you're going to do what?
She's gonna open up a portal and go to where she believes that fire giant is.
So you're going to go back to the City of Brass. I have a button for that.
Just says
I said City of Brass before. We were already doing City of Brass. So you made it back to the City of Brass, and you are now walking around that same marketplace you were in before. You know that if you ask around hard enough, you can find your way there. But I mean, you also know where you're generally going to. That is awesome. That is totally the sound we're using. I'm just going to tone it down a little bit so it's not quite so shocking all at once. Okay, so yeah, you're in the City of Brass. There's a fire giant out here somewhere named Torvak, who basically has several indentured servants whose services he sells out to people who want to pay for them.
He's a pimp.
How do you want to describe it? You've already had to deal with him once.
It's hard out here for
And he has kind of like a squat, like, you know, if you can imagine like a Middle Eastern building where it would have like a, you know, like a cloth entrance, but inside it would have like a adobe type structure. It's a very squat, very plain type building. He is not like a lord of fire giants. He is a merchant who deals in people's services that he owns. So yeah, slaver, pimp, bad words, whatever you want to call it. But Torvak is, despite the fact he is already a fire giant, otherwise not very intimidating by himself. So, are you going to his place of business?
Yes.
All right. And what is your goal when you get there? You can see the doors are wide open, just like it normally is during business hours, for you to be able to walk in and say that you want someone to do something, whether it's assassinate someone or retrieve a treasure or work in your field for a week, whatever else you might
So
need.
I walk up, and is there kind of like sort of like a reception area? And is the fire giant there, or does he have a servant up at the front?
He has a servant who is up at the front. It's a fire genasi, and you've met him before, and his name is Eastly.
Oh, Eastly!
And okay, so you just walk straight up. And
Yes.
he looks shocked to see you because he was there when Gad's fellow was demolished, perhaps. He's just wide-eyed. He has this like kind of wispy blonde hair that looks like vaguely like it's on fire. And he's like, Embers. Hello again.
Hello!
How can I be not? What do you need?
I'm going to try to kind of put him at ease, so he feels a little bit more open around me.
Huh?
I have a sheet. Okay. So I'm going to use kind of like persuasion.
So you're doing this a nice way. You're not trying to lie to him.
No, I'm not trying to lie to him.
Okay.
Second.
Mhm.
Math hard.
Yeah.
17.
17. All right. You're probably coming across a little scarier than you would really want to, just based on things going on around you, but he seems like he's calming down a little bit.
Okay, like I hide the knife in my.
Right. So,
So I'm here because I'm here to deliver a message, you know. I hope it got through. I'm also checking up to see if my message that I sent.
the little clayman.
Yes.
Yes, well, that contract got resolved, and the client's delivered payment to Torvak as expected. The little clayman, you know, the whole, and there's a new master, and I'm going to be serving them instead. I don't think Torvak liked that part very much.
Okay. Well, I'm here to put his upset at ease, and I've come to reclaim Glad's fellow.
And he makes a motion that is common here for like when something is going to slip through your fingers. He's just like, it's, there might be some pieces.
Ah. Okay, so the property was destroyed.
Destroyed entirely.
Well,
Maybe if you were very, very powerful as it imagines, you know, you could do something about that, but I think otherwise.
my own thinking process, because of what level I am,
Yeah.
do I consider the fire giant like a worthy opponent, or would I consider him someone I could probably? Oh, I couldn't punch him because like look at these guns.
Right.
But
Well, I mean, you can totally punch him. The question is like, you know, how big is he? He's big. I
He's
mean,
big.
He is a huge creature, you know, in terms of size. So.
Okay. Could I knock him? Ooh.
That's yeah, grappling wise, things like that. He's the 3 size scales larger than you,
Okay.
so he's a big guy.
Totally the punching kind.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the fact that he is the equivalent of like, you know,
Glassjaw.
he's like the guy who sits on the couch of the fire giants. I don't know, pop culture reference here, but I mean, he's not very good at anything. He's not notable as a fire giant. He just happens to be one.
Okay. So let me. I just want to be absolutely clear, just for my
Yeah,
head. So he got upset at the fact that I didn't come back to say that the contract was done, but that this person came in my place instead.
He probably doesn't acknowledge the idea that you can remove yourself from his bond because you said that you were going to. Because you are technically his property in his mind.
Okay. So I'm gonna nod. I'm gonna say, well, that's a disappointment. This property did not belong to me; it belonged to someone else.
If you want, I can try to scare up some pieces. Does that help?
You know what? If you can, just so I can bring them back, maybe we can do something with them.
Sure. I mean, yeah, you know, why not, right? Yeah, I can do that. Okay.
So wait for him to do that.
Okay. Let me go do that now. And he kind of like walks off, just like waiting for like the asteroid to fall on his head. He comes back about 20 minutes later, and he has like, you know, there's like the lower third of Gadsfellow's head, and like part of the torso, and like an arm like this,
Aww.
and there's like a knee, and here you go. And he's got them kind of like in a big cloth bag. Maybe like a really good like wizard could.
I think I know one.
Okay.
Well, thank you. And then I take out one of the gems that I got from Valising, and I kind of discreetly slide it over, and I go, for your trouble.
Oh yes, well, of course, it is no trouble at all, because I didn't even see you here or anywhere in the city of Brass, because that would be a very poor idea.
Yeah, it was a quiet night.
And luckily, everyone else is busy being somewhere else, so it's very good.
Okay. And yes, thank you.
Yes,
so I
and
just,
thank
you.
yeah. No, he's going like this. Okay,
Open up the big portal. Make the noise.
it's coming. There you go. Very
Clicks
Mr.
on the
Miyagi, I
portal,
like
works off
that.
the
Very nice, very
Portal on,
nice.
portal on.
Okay,
Portal
so you have a bag of Gadsfiller pieces.
Okay. I show back up, and I walk into Faxburton's office, and I place it down. It probably kind of falls open, and I go,
Oh,
well, maybe we can do something with this.
that's actually not that bad. Well, there's considerable damage. Do you know where the Azure Room is?
I think if I wave my hand and think about Azure Room, I go there.
Right, and I think I left a rather large number of diamonds in there, but maybe I'm thinking of a different room. It might be the Amethyst Room. But with the right number of diamonds and the right kind of ritual spell, I think we can reconstruct it.
Okay.
No, right?
Thank you.
Yes.
I would have thought he was much more destroyed than that. Huh.
Well, you know, it was my responsibility, so.
Let me see what I can find on the shelves. Do you want to maybe look for that room? We're probably going to need about 70 diamonds.
Okay.
Around that big.
Around
Something like that.
Okay. I wave my hand and I go to the Azure Room first.
Stop to go down the staircase.
Ah.
I know. Here you have to do actual
Wow,
walking. It's
manual
terrible
labor.
inside.
So I walk out of the room and I put my hand on the moonstone and I'm like, I have to walk.
I'm sorry, you know you can't open doors inside the tower.
So I go.
Alright. Eastkeep.
Yes.
So you all have arrived at the South Gate, which is directly outside of where the Night's Watch is, and that's on your way into the proper part of town. But this is really about the only way you've ever arrived into Eastkeep. None of you really go through the North Gate. There's not very much that goes on there. The East Gate, or the South Gate, is where most of the trade and commerce takes place. So this is a popular place.
Okay.
That's totally the sound I was looking for. That's my burrow sound. Let's
I was
go
gonna say
down.
that sounds more like my apartment.
That's the burrow sound. Okay, here we go. City
I've
sound.
got some things that I need to get.
So do I.
Well, we both do.
So why don't we take an hour or so, a couple hours,
Sure.
and then meet back at the market and get the supplies.
Yeah. Hey, if you meet up with the person that was making my stuff, can you get my stuff?
Yes, that's one of the things I'm gonna get.
Because did I meet him? I don't think I
I don't think, no, you never met him. No.
No. I figured that was like your dude.
It's too small.
It's an old friend.
Once you
Yeah.
go there.
Cool. Thank you.
Alright, awesome.
So meeting right here, 2 hours, something.
Yeah,
Should be
yeah.
good enough.
Oh, if you want to check up on the people that had been petrified, maybe.
That's a great idea. I'll head immediately to the tavern where
Night's Watch. Night Watch. Pardon me. You guys are right there. You're basically
Midnight's
right in
Watch
front of it.
carrier.
Okay, so who wants to go first for all their stuff?
I'll go first.
Okay, so where are you going?
I'm gonna go into Cozy
Hollow.
Cozy Hollow.
The known apartment building.
Yeah, the apartment.
You got stuff you have questions?
No, because the person I was checking up on is no longer there at the tavern, so.
Okay. So you're going to think about that and go somewhere else instead.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Since it is 8 o'clock pretty much now, why don't we take our break now, and then we'll come back and find out what happened to it. Da-da-da-da. We'll be right back. Is it one now? It's one? All right. So we are back with more Infinity Tower D&D. We love you guys. Thanks for watching. If you're watching. If you're not, you can watch later, and we will love you then. Feel free to send us a tweet and tell us that we're supposed to love you. Promos, Ambient Realms. Check out ambientrealms.com for a cool sound mixing board loaded with cool sound effects, such as... That is our personal channel favorite, I think. So if you want cool effects like that for your game that will make your players tell you that you have things on too short a loop and then giggle like, tiny people for quite a while before they tell you what's going on.
You
Go
were
for it.
talking, we want to know,
Yeah,
right?
thanks for not ruining that
story.
Thanks for not ruining the suspenseful moment by just giggling to yourself for like 10 minutes. That was
Dude, if
awesome.
you were sitting here, it was
really
funny.
I'm just saying. Okay, so ambientrealms.com. They support Huntington. So close. Huntington's Disease Society of America and Autism Speaks. Check them out. They're cool people. Okay, also Arknight. Arknight.com. They do flat plastic minis. Here's a big one. That guy looks unpleasant. Or this guy. They're totally going to fight him later on. And so, Arknight.com, they have a lot of those flat plastic minis. They also have maps. And when we hit every 25 subscribers, followers, not subscribers, we do a giveaway. And we are 5 away right now. We're at 120. We need to hit 125. We will do another giveaway. So, yeah, if you guys want to tweet that.
Will it
follow,
be a
tell
bear?
people. What's that? You want a bear? Sure. Everybody gets a bear.
Yeah!
All right. And then we've got What Game Did He Bring on Wednesday, 6:30, and New Trippers Thursday, 6:30. We are in the Pacific time zone, so please check those out. Follow us at timetabletop.com. I guess it's a follow. Follow us on Twitch. Go to timetabletop.com, comment, give us ideas, hashtag Infinity Tower. I took 1 week off and I forgot how all my promos work. I'm so sorry, guys. I don't remember what I'm doing at all. But I do remember that we are in the city of Eastkeep, where we are currently following around Theophraxis, as he is trying to figure out what the heck he's going to do with all this free time and loot. So what's up, Theophraxis? What are we going to do?
I'm gonna go to Cozy.
If you want to
I
tweet,
do
I can go
not
to somebody else.
remember the name of that.
Cozy
Cozy
Hollow.
Hollows. I don't know why I have
That's
a
okay.
I'm
Right.
going to Cozy Hollows,
Yeah.
and I want to go to the Artificer's. I'm going to sort of go in. When I go in, I'm just going to walk around, and kind of drink in the view.
Uh-huh.
It's
Yeah.
home, right? It's my
Right.
home, so I'm kind of like, things feel normal. This is a good place to be. Then I'll go in and I'll see if the Artificer, whose name I cannot remember.
Shindibble.
That is his name. Okay, it is Shindibble. Okay. I saw that in my notes. I wasn't sure if that was him or not. Because that's the on the blog that I wrote. That's the wounded artificer I was talking about. That's Shindibble.
So they're the same guy.
Yeah, same guy. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go see if he's in.
Okay. So
I just have Shindibble written down. In
Yeah,
my
me too. I have no
So random.
Shindibble, and it was
it's the best random name ever, right?
I know, right?
So you
It's
come
great.
down through the front room, and Grithilda's there, and she sees you and just kind of like eyes up because your account's current, so she's not really paying
She doesn't
much
care.
attention.
Yeah, exactly.
Continues going about her work. You wind your way down below into the level where you keep your apartment, and you're not going to your room. You're just going to go down the hall where Shindibble is.
Yeah, I'll just go there. Yeah, because
So you work your way down the hall, and you find Shindibble's room. The door is partially open, which is pretty usual for him.
okay.
And there's just no answer.
Shindibble, get home. Hello. Hello.
Again, pretty typical.
All right, I'll go in.
So you go in, and he does optics and does a lot of things like that for artificery. And so there are a lot of pieces of glass where there have been pieces cut out. There's tools laying around. There's a lot of polishing cloths and so forth all over the ground. But on the central table, there is what looks like a big round ring with spikes on the inside like this. They're actually kind of like slightly curved sickle-like blades, and it's resting on a long chain. Everything looks like it was made by somebody who's a pretty good artificer themselves, at least of metal. And then it has like a presence to it.
Okay.
But it seems like it's there and complete.
Okay.
And then, coming out from the back room, like holding a chicken type drumstick in his mouth and a large shack under his arm is Shinderwolf.
Hey! It's me, Theo. I'll walk up to him.
He sits the bone up. That's what I said.
Hey.
Theophraxis.
Hey.
And he comes forward here, and he's holding like a large number of what look like moonstones or opals,
Uh-huh.
and he kind of like messily spills them on the table.
Oh, wow. It's a lot.
Oh,
How you doing? I give him a hug.
old. And
Good to see a happy face.
no. Things could be better, but they're not.
Uh-oh, what's wrong?
Nothing now. Everything's fine.
No, okay. Awesome. So, is it done? I can just going to say hi and see if it was done.
What, that?
That, yeah.
That? Yeah, that's done.
Awesome. So,
What are you calling it now?
what were we calling
Which thing?
the guillotine?
Fantastic chopping collar head removal.
Device of
With the meteor
destruction?
hammer on the other side.
Huh?
There's a meteor hammer on the other side.
There's a meteor. Oh, that's right. There's a
Yeah,
meteor.
we kept everything just the same way. It's still got that large ball at the
Well,
end.
it's for a friend of mine. I'm sure she'll come up with a good name for it. So,
Doesn't sound very gnomish at all. People
I
are
know.
not naming things.
I know. I'll think of something. I think the
I don't know where your head is at.
it's in a lot of different places right now.
Not naming things.
Now you make me feel guilty.
I was trying to make you feel guilty.
Oh, good man at work.
Did we settle up for that, by the way? Did you
Oh yeah, I paid you for that one already.
Are you
Yes.
sure?
Oh yes, I did.
There's a lot
And
of
actually,
chanting.
here's the receipt because I did ask him for a receipt. Here it is.
And he goes over and he looks through one of the big optical. Oh, all right, that's fine.
Nice
These
try.
opals aren't cheap, you know.
No, I know. I know. I already paid for this one.
Anyways,
So,
We've never played it out, but Aurora's been calling it Dawn's Fang.
that's cool.
yeah, I think it's gonna.
just-
I think it's going to be the Flying Head Chopper Supreme. That's what I'm thinking. Not quite good enough. It's missing a certain kind of snap.
It sounds like how tinkering people name things. That's fine. It needs a story. But anyways,
Story?
you'll come up with it.
Once
You'll get it.
once upon a time, there was a Flying Head
Or-
Chopper Supreme.
You're the worst at stories.
Was well,
The worst at stories.
Better
It's
at
okay.
praise.
You just don't have a head for magical things. That's fine.
no.
But take it out of here. I just finished it
Cool.
today.
All right,
so
awesome. I'll gather it up.
You
So
know,
can,
some interruptions. And stuff.
can you do something else for me? Can you make another one for me?
Probably not soon. I'm fairly backed up. I lost 7 days of work.
Uh-oh.
What is it that you need?
A similar enchantment, but on my rifle.
Maybe 3 weeks.
How about on a pistol instead?
Smaller. Fortnight.
Okay. Can we do that?
It's going to be at least a week before I start it.
That's-
so
that's
just
cool.
Keep it on you.
All right. Well, actually, I'd rather leave it here with you because the way things have been going in my life, I might be gone for a month at a time, and
All right.
I'll even pay ahead of time for you.
All right.
But I
like
want to get a
that part.
receipt.
That's good. I need more opals and notes.
All right.
It
Need more
seems-
opals?
Yes.
Well, let's see. I got some diamonds. Would that help? No.
You really don't understand how magic things work.
No,
They're
I
totally different
don't.
stones.
Yes,
You can't
do you
just make an
understand the
opal
difference
into a
between a gear and
diamond.
a cog? I mean,
Right.
really, do you really understand that difference? Because there's a mighty big difference between those two.
I tell you, I really don't deal in those things.
Well, there you go.
So-
Specialty.
All right, but again, opals and diamonds are very different.
That's right.
So, what are you trying to tell me that you need to buy or do something with? Or
I would like this enchanted, maybe to do some additional pain.
You just want it magically enchanted.
Yeah. Yeah. Similar to what you've done with the Flying Head Chopper Supreme of Eastgate.
It's just very difficult
Dawn's
to
Fang.
enchant something like this that's basically a tube for making pieces of metal go out.
Sure.
It's just very inelegant and sloppy and horrible.
No, this is the finest of all known craft work right here. Well, no, actually not the finest. I create the finest. This is the second finest.
Well, what you're telling me is you basically want your flying metal tube to be magical.
Yeah. Well, what? Yeah, sure.
It would be so much easier just to enchant the little pieces of metal, I tell you.
Okay. It would be cheaper.
Probably. Let's see. Let me look this up.
Yeah, if it's cheaper and quicker and easier to enchant the bullets, sure. Why not?
He's looking through his little like lists of things.
He's got
and
like a little slide
ingredients.
rule.
No one ever asks for this, but it would be no. It's probably no. To be frank, it's probably going to take just a little bit more. Well, how many would you want?
Well, enough for, I don't know, like 100?
Oh, that would be a lot more expensive. Yeah, I guess you should just enchant your tube if you think you're going to shoot that many pieces of metal.
Well, I've already shot about 35, so it's been a busy month for me.
You're probably better off just enchanting the tube.
Okay. I'm always about enchanting tubes.
It's been a busy day. No, week.
No, month. It's just been busy. I've just been so damn busy.
800 gold.
Okay.
If you want to pay it in opals, you can pay it in opals. If you have to pay it in diamonds, I guess I'll take it.
I can give you gold.
It's fine. Gold's fine. Gold, diamonds, and opals as well as anything else.
Okay, let me make sure. Let me consult the bag of holding.
Yes, that's the whole point of the bag of holding sheet.
Consult the bag of holding.
And he's taking all of these opals and putting them into a big, like, glass
I
beaker.
actually have enough of my own in that. Okay, cool.
As you, like, turn over your satchel and shake the gold out.
Yeah.
It's good.
All right, there you go. And a receipt, of course.
He holds it under the glass to see what he wrote. Yes.
That's beautiful.
All right, but
Set that
again,
right
it's
over.
going to be at least a fortnight.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Fine.
Not really worried about the time.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Time can be precious when things happen.
Yeah. Okay. Well, take it easy. Keep yourself safe.
I'm very behind.
Okay. Well, maybe one of these days I'll come and help you.
All right, well, don't touch anything magical.
Get out of my shop. That's what he's trying to tell you.
Yeah, probably
He was trying to tell you you were not magical in any way.
I'm not.
No, sorry.
Yeah, I can make those little fire starter things, man.
It's not magical. I know.
It's a race trick.
Okay, he's an artificer. Artificer and tinker are two totally different things. Don't touch his magic stuff with your tinker stuff.
Don't touch
Don't
my
cross
magic
the
stuff.
Don't put that chocolate in this peanut butter, man.
Don't want to do that.
Sounds weird no matter how.
You know what
I say it.
happens when you put chocolate in peanut butter, though?
I don't want to know.
Awful.
I think I already started too much with that.
All right. All right. Thanks.
All right.
I'll fold up the super hyper turbo head chopper supreme of
Yep.
Eastkeep,
Cool.
and I'll kind of wander around a little bit.
Okay.
Just
so
kind of
you want
wander
Cozy
through
Hollow?
the cozy hollows, yeah, just to kind of take it in. Sure. And then I'll head out.
And they have all the fine borough things. They've got like common kitchens and common rooms and so forth. So there's very
I'll
few
stick
things
my
you have to do by
nose
yourself.
in the common kitchen, see what's going on.
Most people are much more friendly and happy to see you. Shindibble's old and, you know, what's the term, like cantankerous, and that's probably the best way that you know that he's doing okay.
Yeah.
But a lot of people comment on the fact that you were gone and, you know, they're glad to see you're back and, you know,
Well, I gotta go back out again, though.
oh, man, it's good. You have to do that work, and if you don't,
Is
helps
Lumpy,
you do well.
is Lumpy around?
He's usually around somewhere.
Okay.
I mean, he's probably taking out something or fixing the outhouse or something. I don't know if you really want to find him.
That's true. All right, I'll just kind of wander around and say hi and everything else,
So
and
you're
sort
wandering.
of drinking that sort of feeling of community and happiness,
There's
just
some of
to
that.
sort of recharge.
Yeah, it's very gnome-like. It's
And
nothing
then-
like where you've been before.
Yeah, exactly. And then after, you know, like when it's about time, I'll head on out and say goodbye to everybody.
Sounds good. Okay, so you're going to take the long goodbyes, and then we'll just go around the table this one. Okay, so Arvin, what are you going to do?
I'm headed to the Temple of Many Fanes.
Temple of the Many Fanes, and you're going to go straight to the Temple of Palor in there?
Yes,
Remember the name of your supervising priest?
Son of Leorin.
Son of Leorin is correct. Good job, ding. Okay, so you go in there, and the temple looks pretty much like how you left it. When you were leaving, there was that air of like it was mountain to being like, you know, it's kind of an emergency state. There were some medical things going on, but now there is none of that. So it seems fairly calm by comparison in some ways. And as you walk towards the center of the temple, you do find Isana Leoran up there doing her usual work, where right now she is overseeing a ceremony basically right there at the main altar.
Okay.
It doesn't look like anything terribly complicated, but she is giving it her full attention when you walk in. That's not the way we
I'm just gonna take a seat in just some random pew and wait
Okay.
until she's all done.
Okay. With typical acumen, when you walk in, she becomes pretty aware of you. And she makes like a very small hand gesture. Includes what seems to be a fairly basic ritual. It's probably the sort of thing that she would have like a lesser priest doing, you know, in most cases, but for whatever reason she's not. And then she concludes and, you know, bows her head and she walks over. Arvin,
Stand up. Good to meet. Good to see you.
good to see you. So clearly you've been successful.
Yes. Yes.
So it's
Well-
been a day. Only a day.
A day.
Since we had our last person who was affected. But it's great. It's really, it's amazing you were able to succeed.
How many people were affected?
9?
9. What may I ask what has happened with them?
And they've all been cured. Everyone's fine. It didn't take that long, but you know, it's a drain on the resources of the temple. We had to talk to some of the other priests and keep things moving, and it's hard not having people worry, because a lot of people thought it might be an invasion or it might be something more serious, but we haven't seen anything else.
Oh, it's good. The problem should be resolved from here on out.
When last night went by and nothing happened, I was hoping that was the case. You know, when you were returning, I felt like maybe that was a message.
So, I do have to ask. It seems a little empty in here. The service you were just doing.
Well, Arvin, if you were to become a high priest, I tell you, you really must remember the most basic rituals. It's somewhat embarrassing if you ever get called to perform a service you don't remember how. And there are occasionally ceremonial instances that require me to take part versus one of the other priests.
I understand.
So I do try to remember all of them, amongst other things for teaching priests that need to know them. But in this particular case, I'm also, like I said, a lot of the priests become somewhat exhausted with all this care and focus. And they deserve a time to rest. So, are you well?
Yes, I'm very well. There's perhaps a couple of things that I'd like to talk to you about later, but
Sure.
I mainly wanted to come in and see how you were doing, see how things were going here with the victims.
The victims are fine. I think things are good.
Do they remember what happened to them at all, or?
I think it's too brief for people to really know something happened to them. But everyone who's returned, and they know they lost some time. They didn't experience any unpleasant memories or things like that that I can think of.
Do they know the truth?
That they were petrified?
Yes.
Yes. I mean, there's no reason to keep that from people. But we try to be as reassuring to people as possible. I mean, keeping secrets in a place like this just leads to panic.
No, I get that. It's so I guess my only other question that I can think of is there like an official story as to what's happening here?
Well,
As
the
to
people that run Eastkeep, the military commanders, the city officials, they all know what happened. And then in terms of what we told the people who were afflicted, we told them the truth. And that's about it. Most of their family members might know, but I think most people understood the need for discretion. So they didn't make a big deal about what happened.
All right.
I haven't heard of any rumors or things. If you hear something different, let me know.
Okay.
All right. And, you know, Arvin, if we're going to talk later, I have something I have to talk to you about too.
Okay.
It's not a temple matter.
Okay.
I think I could use your assistance.
I need to run an errand, but I can be back later on.
No, there's only a small rush, but
Okay.
at some point I do have a question for you.
Okay.
She starts like picking things up, the wrong material and so forth. Okay, what's a sorority?
Okay, so I'm going to Elkana bookstore to collect my dwarven books.
You're gonna go collect your dwarven books.
Yeah,
Not all
and
these books,
scrolls.
sounds good. Nothing, just making fun of myself. That's all. Okay, so you go into Elkana Books. And you find the place, as usual, a little bit unkempt. But you know what's funny is most of the books are on the shelves this time. Almost everything is put away this time. And there's just a few books out, and Thistle is sitting down, like leaning against the counter like this, reading a book, but she only has 3-4 books out.
When did you tidy up?
I didn't tidy up.
You didn't.
I
Well,
didn't
it's
tidy up.
it's tidier. Did
It
you
is
get an
tidier.
assistant?
No. We don't make any money here. There's no reason to have someone else working in the shop. They would just be reading books that I could be reading.
Okay, so you didn't do the tidying up, and another person also didn't do the tidying up.
No. Oh gosh, you made it so complicated. Someone came in and tidied up because I was gone for about a day, and it wasn't a big deal, but now the store is much cleaner.
Okay. They didn't take my dwarven books, did they?
I haven't looked.
I go over and look for my dwarven books.
Okay. You want to make a perception check for that?
I guess. I mean, I know where I put them.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
So 9.
Okay. You look over and you have a moment of dismay where you're like, but they were in that stack right... And then you look into the shelf to the right that was formerly empty is now filled with things. Your dwarf books are all on the shelf with some other books of history. They're kind of intermixed in a way that's not terribly pleasant to you with some Allurian history books and some like general, like the stories of how people came to Trageria.
Right.
But they're right there. And I mean,
Okay.
if anybody else spoke Dwarvish and had picked them up off the shelf, they probably could have just taken them.
Right. Okay. So I'll get that and the scrolls, which hopefully are near the books.
Yeah, they're in exactly the same section, like they could just be bought.
Okay. So yeah. You know, I was asking you to keep these for safekeeping, Thistle.
I was keeping them safe. I told you someone else moved everything.
Who moved everything, Thistle?
I don't know, someone from the temple.
Which temple?
Mm.
Did they have sun emblems on their chests?
Palor's temple.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
all.
That's fine. Well, it's nice of them to straighten out for you.
Defensive birds out of my hands.
Thistle, can I ask you something?
Yes.
You know my parents. I mean, obviously, you know my mother.
Yeah, of course.
I'm having a bit of a conundrum right now
Alright.
because I'm either going to betray my parents or I'm going to betray other people.
She can't find a bookmark, so she just puts a smaller book in the book to hold her place. What's this about Rosenstorm now?
There's something that my father wanted me to do, and I think I can do it for him now. But doing the thing for him will be bad for other people that I know.
Make an insight check.
Okay. That is a 22.
Nice. Thistle is poised like she's about to pounce on you. Whereas before she was fairly relaxed and just slouched, her back has knotted up, and you can see like the pressure she's putting on this desk, and she looks like she's about to lunge over this counter and attack you.
What's wrong?
So you're saying that Storm asked you to do something, and you're considering doing it.
Yes, he's my father.
I understand that. I know your mother's husband.
Why? What's wrong with me doing something that my father asked me to do?
She's now like scratching little like ribbons of wood out of this table. What is it that you're considering doing?
Well, he always wanted to know about the dwarves, and I've found the dwarves. I've also found a very powerful weapon that he might be able to use.
So what you're saying is that going to the Swaying Branches Monastery and learning more about the other Tabaxi tribes and seeing how most of the world views how to live life, you're thinking that Storm is probably the person that you want to appease.
Well, there's just a dedication to one's father that you can't ignore.
So what you're thinking is you think that your father should have access to powerful weaponry and dwarven secrets so that you can bring back a Tabaxi empire and have the Tigers rule over everyone again.
Well, I mean, that's what he wants.
Right. I totally agree that's what he wants. And there's like, now there's like a whole bunch of little like shavings over this desk. She's clawing little pieces out of it. You know, I don't like the Tabaxi Council. But the reason I don't like the Tabaxi Council is because they take forever to decide to do anything. but not in the way your father doesn't like how Tabaxi Council takes forever to do anything. I don't like the fact that for me, I would rather just go look at something and read about it and figure it out a little bit and take time, but I don't want to have to ask them what they think and if it's okay. I'm not going to activate a powerful weapon and destroy part of the continent to make a show of force so that the Goliaths and the humans and the other Tabaxi all back down and start venerating me as the god and king of the cats. You do know that at one point, the person who was the emperor of the Tabaxi told people that he was directly empowered by the cat god, don't you?
Yes, I know the story about the old king.
And he basically, you know that most of the stories you like to tell are cautionary warnings about how to be a predator without destroying your source of food or happiness.
Yes, those are the stories that Mother taught me.
And you know that Shorttail was generally considered to be a hero because of the fact that he thought about what to do? That's the essence of those stories, right?
Yes.
I don't think Storm ever wanted you to learn any of those meanings of those stories. I think he was always interested in the idea that you would learn that other people were stupid and that if you were smarter, you would just take things before they got to touch them.
Right.
And Aurora, there was a lot of effort that I didn't do at all, I'll admit, to have you go to the Swaying Branches Monastery and learn what the rest of the Tabaxi think.
Yes.
And you remember that you had a teacher and that she taught you a lot about how not to be your father in Sassus.
Yes.
I think you should think about what she would want. Maybe you should just go ask her.
Yes. It's better that I talk to the abbess before I talk to my father. Thank you. I hadn't thought of that.
I guess I'm glad I thought of it.
Well, I still can't take the people with me. Can you deliver a message to them?
To the Tabaxi Council.
No, there are going to be a couple of... There'll be a very tall human wearing the insignia of Palor coming out to the square soon.
Didn't he come in here before?
Yes.
Was it a different human or was it the same human?
I think it's the same human. They all look alike. But it's
Sure,
hard to
smell
tell the
it.
difference, especially with the males.
The smell's probably the one to get to tell apart.
And also there will be a very little, a gnome. If you know the difference between a person and a gnome, I know it's confusing. The gnomes I've learned, number one, I've learned that it's not pronounced gnome, but actually gnome. Another thing that I've learned is that they are the shorter ones with the pointy ears.
Number one, if you had just read their name in Dwarvish instead of the human language, you would have known that it was gnome, the way that they say it, because the Dwarven, the consonants are so much clearer. And I'm sure you already know that, but anyways. Number two, why don't you just bring the human and the gnome? Why don't you just bring them?
Is it okay to bring them? I mean, the council doesn't really like the idea of humans in our land.
Well, you don't have to bring them directly to the council seat. You could just bring them to the monastery.
That's
If something bad happened to them in the monastery, I'm sure there would be no way for anyone else to find
no,
out.
it's true. The monastery is much more forgiving of creatures that aren't tabaxi.
And remote. And also, I think it's fairly likely that if you had to make your companions die, that they would do so very easily.
Okay. Good points. Thank you.
I think you just, or don't, anytime you think of yourself thinking like, what would Storm do? Do the other thing.
That actually would make life a lot easier. That is why I should not kill all the orcs. Okay.
She picks up the book again.
I'll wait for them in the square.
Okay, you're going to the square. All right, and you're just hanging out, learning cool rituals for restoring magical items, right? Cool. Okay, you guys are in the square.
Awesome.
Aurora's actually the first one there.
Cool.
Yeah, I wasn't very
Shortest,
far
shortest
from it.
walk, things like that. Fewest gnomish distractions.
Gnomish.
Yeah, gnomish. And you guys are basically in that market right outside of the Night's Watch.
Okay, cool. It's done. I have it for you.
Sweet.
Take it out. Da, 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 da.
It's like a
Nice.
slightly larger than head-sized collar on one side, and you can see how the blades twist into place, and then you've got this big hammer thing at the other end. It's all fairly nicely made.
See, this way I have the option of not killing or killing something.
Sure. It makes perfect sense to me. So what are you going to name it? We had a long discussion about naming.
Oh, I've named it Dawn's Fang
Why?
because it brings back happy memories for me.
You're like, oh, Shinda would love that name.
That's kind of a lame name.
You're kind of a lame person.
And Arvin is there. Enjoying the
Speaking
lame
of
person.
lame.
He's a right lame person.
Have I managed to requisition a cart like I wanted to?
Sure.
Or- okay.
Yeah, you have a cart.
If I let you come up with the name, it would be something bizarrely long that exactly described what it is.
Well, yeah. That's what you're supposed to do. And then make an
For
acronym
instance,
out of
I
it.
named the instrument the Fantabular. What would you have named the instrument?
Fair point. Fantabular is a fantastic name.
There you go. Well, this is Dawn's Fang.
How about Fantabular's Fang?
I'm naming everything Fantabular.
The
This
Fang
thing
of
makes no
Fantabular?
noises.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. It doesn't? I guess it doesn't. Huh?
Not
We wouldn't know
unless I
yet
hit
because he
somebody
enchanted
with
it. Maybe it does. I actually don't know what it does.
What time is it?
Evening-ish.
So, maybe before the stalls close, yes?
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
do
yeah.
have to return
shopping.
this thing at some point.
Shopping. Yes. Okay. So we'll go around and collect up the shopping bits.
All right. So what kind of supplies we're looking at here?
Whatever he asked for. He said it was paper,
Yep.
food, wine, a variety of food, maybe some raw meats that we can store someplace.
I mean, I'm getting some meat on the stick.
They have meat on a stick.
Yeah.
You're able to talk to a butcher and get like a deer carcass if you want to take a whole carcass back with you.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
And
cured
then
meats and stuff.
firewood, maybe some new pots and pans
Okay, sure.
because he completely destroyed the old ones.
Pretty much completely destroyed.
I'll pick up a cookbook for him too.
Wow. Okay. Good. Good. That's probably the hardest thing of everything to find. So sure.
Is it? Yeah, okay, I'll see if I can find a cookbook.
Yeah.
Some really basic stuff, you know, like how to boil an egg and how to make pasta. Like really, really simple
Illustrated
stuff.
books are pretty expensive, so that would be a thing. Yeah.
Okay.
So if you want to drop like 10 gold on an illustrated
Yeah,
cookbook,
sure. I'll even pull that out of my own pocket.
Okay, sounds good to me.
Better be out of your own pocket.
Illustrated. Well, it all came out of that. Yeah, sure. What else do you think he needs? Firewood. You just said firewood, food, and writing. What else? He's a wizard. What else do wizards need?
We need some ink, spell components.
Ink is probably a good idea.
Ink's a good idea.
We don't know what spell components he needs, so can't really help him there.
We could just walk into a
You
magic
can-
shop and say, I need all of this.
Give me all of this.
He just looks at you and is like, honey, you don't have it.
You can get this. It's a rock.
Go play with your sand deer.
I got a rock. Yeah, I mean that sounds about right. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, cool.
Load
So
up the
you have a cart.
and
It has
go.
all sorts of stuff in it now.
Cool.
Anything else you guys are buying in the market? That covers everything?
Let's see here.
Is the staff that I got normal quarterstaff length now?
It's getting longer, especially now that you had enough time to do like a full attuning to it.
Oh.
So now it's more like shoulder
Oh.
height staff for you.
Oh.
Is she with us? Are you with us?
No,
So I'm a
not really. I guess since you've had that kind of period of time, it's not
You
really.
could run back to the
it's
tower
a-
really quick and touch it and be like,
Is it magical though?
It is
No,
magical.
no, no.
Yeah, it's a
You're
staff
back
that
at
has
the
a plus
tower?
one chain.
maybe we need to take this moonstone and like turn it into like we can carry it with us. So it's
Uh-huh.
like some sort of I don't know what
I
it
don't know,
would
like a
be.
phone or
like
something?
yeah.
A fax phone.
There you go. Are you guys reopening the portal? Is that what you're doing? Go back to the tower?
Oh man, I want. Okay.
Make some distance out of town before.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to see if we can start getting some armor made out of the dragon hide. But
Because I got it all.
but I would need your measurements to start doing that. All right, we'll just go back then.
Trip number 2.
Trip number 2.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a second trip. Yeah.
So where are you taking
I want
this
a
cart
dragon
and
hide
what are you
armor.
doing?
I know.
Awesome.
I need to do it because my character has it.
That's right, right?
So where are you taking the cart?
We'll take it outside someplace and out of view and stuff. call up the door
Mhm. Okay.
and start passing stuff through the door because the cart wouldn't fit, right? And just
Yeah, I mean, as you guys go down towards the south, there's a little bit of a wooded area, and then you call this that path that goes over towards the mountains now, where the flame walls are, and where you guys come to Dwarven Kingdom. And yes, there's actually a lot of traffic going towards those doors now at this point. So it seems like there's regular trade in the direction.
let's go off someplace dark.
Yeah, so you guys are in the forest area. But just a note that there is traffic going
Oh,
towards
going
the
through
flame walls.
the mines is
That's
that we
right.
open
Can
up.
I
Okay.
just double check? We're definitely not allowed to go visit the dwarves. Is that right? Because of the people from the other place not liking us. Is that?
You've had no follow-up to that as far as I know, right? But that was what they asked you
No.
at first, was to let the military kind of handle things for the next couple missions and get used to that arrangement.
Yeah, because the people on the other side, the other city people that don't like us.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean? Yeah, I would stay away from that for now. Let things maybe chill.
But
I can
like
always
the
get us in if we
dwarves.
really need to.
Right, I like the dwarves too, but those people probably have a very long memory. I know.
But they're bad people.
Sure, but we don't make it bad for everyone else just because they don't like us.
Well, they should like us. We're very charming.
Let's get the stuff back first.
That's a good point about the Charlie. Okay, so you guys head back towards the tower.
Yeah.
Here it comes. Alright, and you start handing stuff through the door into the tower. And it's a little weird. It's like one of you has to stick your hands through and like you're like sucking it in and putting it
Yeah.
down. It's a little bit of an effort. But you managed to get everything in.
I'm going to find the nearest one of those stones.
Okay, yeah. there's
Embers! Embers!
Busy.
Okay, but do you want to get maybe a dragonhide armor out of the bits that we collected?
Faxper's like, don't move your hands right now, otherwise this is going to break the spell. There's like 10,000 gold and diamonds on the floor right now. Just stay where you are.
She like tries to tilt her head so her like horn hits the thing.
Yeah,
and
she
she's
taps
like,
the floor.
really busy.
Okay, alright. Busy. Dragonhide armor. Okay, whatever. Alright. Pass stuff through.
You pass all the stuff through.
Wait,
It doesn't take very long.
you skinned the dragon?
She skinned the dragon. You were there. You saw it.
I was meditating and I wasn't looking.
Really? Was she?
Yeah,
She skinned the dragon. Don't give me that look. She did it. Give her that look.
I will give her that look, but I'm
Okay.
giving you that. I'm giving him that look too. I'm doing it between the two of you.
It was a white dragon. Evil.
There are a lot of dragons in Trajeria.
Evil. Bad
Cats don't
thing.
usually go around skinning things though.
Now they just
Plus it
rip
would've
the
died
flesh
anyway.
off and-
Yeah, plus apparently it would have died anyway, so what's the problem?
It was already dead. I didn't skin
And
it.
it was already
alive.
dead. I don't understand where your objection is in the fact that we collected a hide. I mean, you know.
No, it's fine. I'll keep that in mind that from now on, whenever I kill one of you, then I'll just wear your skin around.
Sure, it makes perfect sense. And when we kill one of you,
That's
we'll do the same
totally
thing.
not disgusting.
It's okay. You'll get used to it. Okay, so pass everything through.
Wonder if gnome hide armor gives you magical spells. Like you get that same advantage against
a
the
rock
rocks.
no more.
We're gonna find out. That's for sure. That's
Forest Gnome lets you speak to
Animals,
animals.
rock no armor.
So
Oh, I
just know
think
what
we
the
have to
GM
hold her
said.
down.
He said, "We're going to find out." So
Yeah,
keep
well,
that in
that's
mind.
true. Well, I have already I've already
You
promised my
realize that
body
she
to
said when I
diet.
kill one of you, not if.
Yeah.
So
No,
I'm just assuming at some point during the story I get to homebrew that magic item. It's
Yeah,
great.
well, that's true. Jeez. Okay.
I don't think I'd get Paler's blessing for wearing his skin around. I feel like
I think
evil
Paler would be a little
Totally.
upset about that.
Theophraxis, dead skin mask, here you go.
Look, I got the Abraxas.
The mask of the gnome.
I'm kind of glad we don't get Panari at this point.
That would be so
Right, yeah.
wrong. Oh my god. Okay, so when we're done passing things through, I've been fixating about this necklace that I
So
left in
that's
the
what we're
Azure.
doing now. That we're
Yeah.
wearing the skin of our fallen enemies.
Well-
That's where we're at. I just want to make sure that's what we're okay with.
I think
Okay.
of it as the skin of a dragon that was white and is gonna look awesome.
Says Embers as she comes down from performing her
Yeah.
magic.
It's gonna look stylish.
They're sitting here like Arvin is like passing a ham through the door. They're like trying to argue about this still. No one's taking the ham from him, and his hands are just ghostly going through the
You're
door.
disappearing
Well, if
in
I can
space.
actually, if I'm actually coming down, I'll grab the hand.
Okay, and Amers walks in, says what she says, grabs the ham.
Explain to her this whole hide thing.
It'll be explained once I walk in right now.
And Arvin's arm sticks in, holding a string of sausages like they say.
I just grab the sausages and start eating one.
Never mind. I take the ham to the kitchen.
Sure. Okay. Everything else is still laying there in the pile.
Yeah, it's just making a pile and move it up.
What's making a pile?
Food. Food,
We're
a
just
ton of wine.
we're creating a
things like
pile on the floor in that entry room because we're just passing things through to the cart and then we move everything up and
that. And now
I'm
a
gonna
big
eat some
twine
of it.
bound
She's really
pile of
hungry.
paper comes through.
yeah, pile of paper comes through. You need the paper.
No, not the paper, the food. Why is the paper being dumped on the food?
It's not. It'd be a separate pile. He's just his stuff's
Sure,
just
it
flying
sounds
through
like
the
he's
door.
just flying.
Basket of apples. things
Basket
like
of apples.
that.
Basket of papers.
So it continues like that.
Yeah, just kind of.
Yeah. So, but when we're done, I do want to go back. I want to find the Azure room again and
You're
take,
gonna go back upstairs and go
and
find
take
the
a
Azure.
second look at the necklace because I've been
Alright.
thinking about it. Because she asked for the stuff.
Sure. You go back upstairs, you find the Azure room. Everything looks pretty much like it was before. This was not the room where you found the diamonds. That was the amethyst room. But there is that big
Do
wall
they know about the
wooden chest.
amethyst room?
No.
No.
Okay, no one knows about the
It's
amethyst
probably
room.
better to not.
Yeah, you just found 10,000 golden diamonds. Though. There's no-
Yeah, no,
I did
no.
pretty good. All I did was take 75 gold. And is there any left? Because if there's
Yeah.
left, I'll put it back.
Oh, out of what you had?
Yeah.
You probably like 3.
Yeah, I'll put it back.
Not a lot. I think. Put that necklace now.
Yeah, but now the necklace. Let's talk about that
Uh-huh.
necklace.
Chastised you. Only 3 gold? Look at this room.
Oh, he only took 75. There were several hundred gold in the chest.
It's several thousand. It sounds like.
Probably.
Mr. Faxburn, sir.
Yes.
So there's like this necklace in this in the Azure room.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
What's it do?
I honestly don't remember what's down there. If you want to bring it up here, I'll take a look.
Okay. I'll skip upstairs. It's like la la la.
Already wearing the necklace?
La,
In the meantime,
What's it?
you and
Yes,
I
yes.
are
I put it
hauling
on.
things into the
and skip
kitchen.
up the stairs. La 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 la. Here it is.
Oh. Yes. Well, if you ever find yourself like in like gases or things that aren't safe to breathe, that should let you breathe more.
Ooh. Neat. But not like underwater though. Just gases.
Just normal places you would breathe.
It's okay, Theophraxis. We got it. It's totally good.
I did my part. I'll be back down.
He walked into the other room as soon as the food was done. That's great. Or he was carrying the ton of wine up the staircase.
I'm
So
helping
can
too.
we?
Okay, that's good.
Can
I'm
we
not
take
very
this?
strong, but I'm helping.
Can we take this with us just in case we need it? Or
I
do you
think it
want?
was probably just gathering dust, right? Yes,
Yeah,
that's fine.
sure.
Sure.
Is there anything else in there that we should? I mean, if we're gonna be going around on these missions and doing these dangerous things,
What would you need?
I don't know. I would know it when I saw it.
To be honest, there are a lot of rooms around here I haven't been in any time recently. I'm not really sure what's in any of them.
Huh?
Just go into one and there's just like.
Like which
A
one?
monster.
There's several rooms. Was there something you needed though? I mean, I could try to look and see if I have an inventory list or something, but I doubt I do.
That's fine. That's fine. I guess we can find a room. We'll find a room.
That's where we find his porn stash.
The facts.
Just had to go there, man. It's fine.
Bow chicka bow.
Oh man.
Weirdly enough, all clockworks.
It's gonna be something arcane. Everybody knows that's coming, right?
Clockwork porn. Oh my god.
Look at the gears.
You
It's
know,
like
again-
gears and chains and stuff.
Please
Need
do
Grease.
not
gears.
start generating fan art based on this episode. We really are okay.
Oh man. Send me that picture of Theophraxis.
Wow.
Your little chibi. Do it.
Uh-oh.
That's not,
Now I'm
that's
worried.
not like a good correlation.
No, it's not. No.
Okay. Yep.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I can borrow, I'll borrow it. I'll put it in the bag of holding. It sounds like something that's useful. So, but yeah. So
It's not quick to use or anything like that.
But
It's
yeah,
a
no,
magical
it's-
item you have to attune to.
yeah,
in
sure,
order to
sure.
use.
Yeah.
So, all right.
But I think it, you know, if I'll show it to everyone else if they need it, and if not, I'll put it back.
Sure, that's fine.
So I'll go back down and start helping. And then also tell them the wonderful story of the Azure Room and the necklace that lets you breathe things like poisons without killing you.
He gets back in time to see the one ham left on the floor, pick it up.
I'll pick it up and start gnawing on it.
Okay, here you go.
And I'll do what the worms do to my tomatoes. I'll take a bite over here, a bite
there's
over
a
there,
ham in the
a bite
kitchen?
over there.
There were
Oh.
several hams.
Oh,
You sent
there's
these
one
two
of-
to go buy food. They probably bought all hams.
All ham, all
All
the
hams.
time.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's what people
All hail
food
the ham.
is, just ham.
Just ham.
Pretty much these guys just eat ham.
Ham, eggs, pancakes, sausage.
So there's several bags of flour and hams and some hardtack because Armin bought something, and some apples and a deer carcass
Helping.
and so forth.
I'm just like staring at it all, going, I wish I could cast cook.
If
So,
that was a spell. that
I guess
would
I'm
be a
gonna
spell.
cook something because like I haven't basically I haven't eaten all day.
Right. Yeah, because there really wasn't any food left in this tower. So okay, you're gonna cook something.
Do I roll to cook?
Is it something edible? I mean, are you looking for something particularly fancy, or are you just gonna stick anything in your mouth? When you're
Embers,
like,
do you
cutting it
do
up?
you know how to cook things?
I remember once knowing how to cook. But no,
Dun.
not currently.
Go ahead and make a survival check. I think that's the funniest skill to apply to this. Just by name, if nothing else.
I mean, it kind of is the right skill for
It sounds rightish, right? But also it's
Survival for
fun.
cooking.
Yeah.
5.
Yeah.
5, excellent.
Oh wow, so much for survival.
They brought these new pans in, and they seem to be very good at conducting heat because you immediately scorch the heck out of this hand. As soon as
I
you put
can't
it in.
tell because I'm resistant to heat, so I'm like, shoot,
Right,
shoot,
and it's just
shoot.
turning really black on one side, and you can smell it like caramelizing and so forth.
Smells good.
Yep.
You
So
are
if anybody
ruining.
wants a ham.
You are ruining that meat.
Yeah, she is. You are. She's right.
It's starting to stick to the pan a little
You,
bit.
you
It's
have to
pretty
actually
black.
flip it. Yeah. Here. This. Here. Use the spatula and pry it.
And you hear this.
Oh, I guess it is done. I just put it
Yeah.
on my plate,
There you
try to eat it.
go. Perfect. Good show. That's tiefling cooking.
You know who's
Yep,
very good
all
at
fine.
cooking?
Who?
Somebody whose name I'm forgetting.
Are they a lady dwarf? Are they somebody else?
Oh yeah, because we had gotten wine and stuff too, right?
They need wine.
Wait, we have lots of money.
Fichuria.
Oh.
Fichuria was good at cooking things.
Fitura was good cooking.
She was really good at cooking things.
Why don't we just hire a chef?
We don't have a lot of money. I mean, it's
What are you talking about? We got like 500 gems
I think that
each.
the
Oh yeah, you weren't there. You
Yeah.
didn't get 500 gems.
what? There's gems. What kind of gems?
No, you
they
picked a
cur-
bunch up off the ground.
Oh, those gems. Yeah, I have those diamonds. Yeah, but I mean, why would we hire a cook and bring it? We should check with.
Would Fexman really want somebody else knowing about this tower? though?
Yes, that's what I'm thinking.
We can mind wipe them. Mind blank
You
them.
start hearing.
Well, you can mind blank him. I can hit him over the head and hope he gets a concussion and forgets things, but. or her.
And into the door walks the somewhat clumsy clay automaton Gats fellow.
Hey!
There he is.
Look, Gatsfellow. Gatsfellow knows how to cook.
I can cook.
Yay!
Would you like something cooked?
Yes, please.
All right. And he starts chopping up ham and cooking something.
Watch. This is how you.
I actually do have to get
What
going.
is for?
His
Where are you
ham and
going?
potatoes.
I have to go back to the temple.
Oh. Okay. All right. Have fun. Okay.
His food has like aromas. It doesn't
Hey,
have
somebody
smells,
came
so
from your
it's
temple
different.
and straightened out my aunt's bookshop.
So when you're done
Did they?
eating, let's go
Yeah.
back into
Oh,
town. and see
Okay,
about
I'll
getting
inquire about
something done
that,
with the
but
hammer.
That
it
seems
was
like
with the hide.
an odd thing to do.
it is kind of odd. Maybe they were feeling charitable. I remember that place being a mess.
Yes, it usually is because Thistle is different. But
I noticed.
I mean, really, we all are different and special in our own way. That's what my mother used to tell me. At any rate, so somebody came and cleaned up. So that's weird.
Okay, I'll be sure to find the villain who did this.
I'm just saying I don't understand why it happened.
Yeah.
Neither do I.
Dirty
I'll get to the
bastards,
bottom
but
of
you know.
this. I have to return this cart and all sorts of other fun stuff.
We can return the
We can
cart.
return it
We're gonna
and
be
so
going
you go
back
straight
too.
to the
So if you
temple.
gotta do your thing. I mean, are
Yes,
they gonna like
they have
shoot us
to
for
go
showing
make
up the cart?
armor out of the
Well.
skin of our fallen enemies.
What are we gonna do with the cart outside of our
It's
door.
it's really no trouble. I have to return this to my quartermaster anyways.
Oh, okay.
Oh, where I used to live, sometimes there was like the one hill, and I'll get up on top of the hill.
Yeah, a slide.
It was very flat where I was.
A slide. That's interesting. That'd be kind of fun.
Good stuff.
Good stuff.
Okay, so you're taking the cart back. Who's making the portal?
I guess me.
All right, go for it.
Intelligence.
No, let's say you do wisdom.
Okay.
You did terrible. didn't
So natural 20.
you? Well, apparently you did just fine.
Nice.
So I was gonna say.
See,
well,
this was the
usually
die that I bought off of you, and why he's coming home with me again.
All right, so Arvin, you have your cart. You appeared right where you left it. No issues at all. So what's up now?
Heading back, turning in the cart, and finding Gasona.
Okay. So you return the cart to the same place where you got it, and then you walk into the Temple of Palor, and it's not Leora, and she's not up at the front anymore. There's other priests doing things now, but she's in her little office like she's usually been. It's very cramped, but there's always just one chair across the desk, and sees her fine. Good on.
Yes.
So, did you want to talk about your thing first, or do you want me to go first?
Well, I'm not sure exactly how I can put this, but I encountered a follower of Zahir.
That's definitely unfortunate.
My first, I know that these followers of these gods work in secret, but seeing one out in the open it's definitely different than just hearing about it. So there is, from my limited understanding, there is a place in this world very far away that Zahir is cursed. It is a small area of complete darkness. And I'm not entirely sure if we could ever hope to get there or even what to do if we even got there.
How far away is it?
Far. That's the best I can. It would take months, perhaps years to get to it.
And how would you travel?
I don't know.
By ship?
Perhaps.
Alright.
Perhaps. But that's really all I wanted to let you know is that it might be something bigger. From the way I understand it, or the way that it was told to me, was that it is certainly taking a lot of effort on Zahir's part to make this possible, without attracting notice from, well,
It's like
The one we
he has a
serve.
permanent hold on the world using his magic. That has to be enormously taxing, because as you know, even Palor's blessings, they're very temporary in most cases. I imagine that has to take quite a bit of energy, but to be honest, I'm speculating on something that's beyond our reach.
right.
In terms of Zahir, his followers, they're probably followers of Zahir here in Trajari. They tend to be very secretive because,
Naturally.
well, for Zahir, it's also part of what he expects from his followers. So it's not just the fact that it's a secret, but also I think they gain some power from the fact they do their rituals in darkness and mystery.
I see.
The same way that we would do ours in the sunlight and in the view of others.
I see.
But, again, maybe neither here nor there. It's very tough to be confronted with people that willingly do evil. It's not just something that happens to creatures. They're not born that way. People can do evil just like anything else. There are some creatures that are inherently created evil. Most things that have a soul or a spark can make the choice. And make the wrong choice sometimes.
Yeah. Anyways, that's really all that I wanted to bring to your attention.
Well, thank you. And you're fine. Nothing untoward happened to you because of this.
No, originally things did happen where I questioned why I was even sent there, but in the end, it was explained sufficiently. You'll have to
Combating
forgive
evil-
my vagueness regarding this.
It's fine. Combating evil is intentionally or necessarily taxing on the soul. look at something and question whether or not it is all right, it is good or purposeful to act against it. That's how evil works. Part of its power is from the fact that it makes us question whether we are ourselves evil.
That's something that I did wonder.
I think you'll eventually find out for yourself if you've acted in a way that pleases Palo or not. And in the meantime, you have to act like the way that you acted served the purpose.
I believe it did.
That's good. Some choices is kind of what I want to talk to you about. Have you met my daughter, Marauda?
No, I can't say I have.
She's a good woman. She can make her own decisions. She's not part of the priesthood at all. She works with a wine cellar. She actually is in charge of like inventory and stocking and so forth. And she's successful. She's a very good businesswoman, but she's just not devout. I think she still believes in Palo and all the gods just fine, but I think she's more interested in dealing with people and goods. She's a good lady, but she's recently become engaged and to a half-orc. His name is Grimmer.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever served with him personally, but he's an O Company soldier. As you know, it's kind of required for all half-orcs and he's kept to be part of the O Company.
I understand that very well.
And he's been on several missions, and he's returned successfully. So he's accomplished in battle. And he's a very nice man. I've met him several times, and I definitely approve of the union, but you know Captain Raider. I think you've met him before.
I might have.
He was your previous commander. Remember our scene last time?
Oh.
One die?
Yes, I know him well.
Yes. So he is under Raider's command. He's still a corporal. He's been through multiple engagements, but he's never been promoted in rank because he's a half-orc. I was wondering if maybe you could talk to Raider. It's going to be difficult for them to do anything, marry, have any kind of life, because I don't see how Grimmin will ever be promoted out of that position or do anything with Houston City.
Well, I'm not sure how much sway I will have with Captain Raider, as our last meeting was not... It wasn't exactly cordial. However, I can speak with my immediate superior, who is also a captain, and I might be able to pursue seeing if we can get him transferred out from underneath his command.
That would be much appreciated.
I'll do everything that I can for you.
All right. Thank you, Oren. I appreciate you looking into that.
It's my pleasure.
So, you're going to go do something else? Head back to the city, look for your friends?
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna retire to my quarters and then open up a portal back to the Infinity Tower.
Okay, sounds good. You can make a check for that if you want. You guys are doing what?
Going into town.
You are in town. Okay, now, you were in Eastkeep. What are you doing with yourself? Anything at all?
We're together, right? So,
Yeah.
because we're looking for someone, an armorer who can
Sure.
transform the hide and I guess maybe some of the scales or whatever. We use what we harvested from the dragon to make a set of armor for each of us.
Okay.
Hopefully.
I'm just following you because I've never.
Yeah.
I don't think I've really been to this place.
No.
You really should try one of these here. It's a kebab with like some meat and
Mhm.
some vegetables and stuff on it. They're really good.
She really likes it.
Awesome.
How are you attired? Did you do anything different?
Of course, like any place, she pulls her cowl up kind of over her horns, but she's still like, her height was like 6 foot. Just like, really tall.
Yeah.
Tail hanging out.
Like
Yeah.
3.5 feet. Yeah, 3.5 feet tall.
There are no other tieflings at all in this city.
Oh,
Yeah. Who am I? So, okay, cool. So you guys are going through the market.
Yeah.
You got some meat on
Yeah.
a stick, and you're going to go look for a place that does armor.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I've lived here for a while, so I probably have an idea of where to go and that kind of thing.
Yeah, there's a gentleman named Flatwell, Shomer Flatwell.
Okay.
He's a human. He is known for being very good at smithing and armor work,
Okay.
so he might be a good person to talk to.
Okay. Over there.
So you go find Shomer Flatwell, who is a human armorer. Flatwell's armor, it's nighttime-ish, so they're not super open, but there is like light on in the forge area and so forth, so it looks like something to do.
Okay, so I'll just go up, kind of gently knock. Hello.
Yes.
Hello. Can we come in?
Yes, come on in. So Flatwell's there and he's working on, like right now he has some sort of design pattern out in front of him. And he's sitting across from a really, really old looking man who has like, you know, really puckered skin, but also he has like a fair amount of like somewhat disused muscle on him now at this point. And he's pointing out some things on this diagram. And he looks up at you and makes eye contact with you, and you recognize Holgar Brandhammer as he's looking right at you. Winterfoot.
Sir? How are you doing, sir?
Fine. I'm talking about the finer points of armor smithing with Shomer here. I don't suppose you remember any of your smithery at all.
Well, yeah, I actually do, sir.
And he gives you this like puckered like grimace.
Well, it would never obviously match your skill, but you know, I've built a few things now and then. It's good to see you. You're looking good.
Well, when you're 160, I hope you look as good.
Yeah. So are you teaching our
Shomer here is a very good student and listens when instructed and does a fine job smithing and has learned several things about reinforcing armor properly.
yeah, I kind of remember that lesson.
Well-
Maybe not.
Shomer Flatwell holds out like a big human hand to you.
Ha. This is Embers.
All right.
So we've come here for a request, a special work. Do you do leather work? Does anyone want to do leather work of any kind?
I can do leather work, and Holgar says at that point he's better with leather work than he is with metal work. I still have to show him how to do all the metal work properly.
Well, you have a very fine master here.
Yes, I agree. Yep.
So have a special request or a commission
All
to
right.
work on?
Yep.
And
Sure.
I'll reach into the bag of holding and pull out the white dragon hide.
Oh, all right. I've worked with Dragonhide before. That's fine.
So can you make armor out of this?
Yes, definitely. It's fine armor.
And well, 2 sets, one for me and one for my friend. Is that possible? Is
Let's
that-
see what we've got here.
I'll show
Lay it all out.
We have individual scales too.
Well, it's really the hide you need to work with for armor purposes. Maybe for some of the harder sections like around a knee or over a shoulder or things like that, but this is really going maybe what covers the majority of the body, so you've got to make sure you've got enough coverage for things.
Sure.
Now, are we talking about headpieces as well, or strictly like chest, legs,
Strictly
arms?
chest for me.
All right.
Same thing.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean your standard light armor.
Well, there's a lot of different ways of crafting armor, but anyways. And he goes and brings out like a big measuring tape, and he's like measuring all around. Hold this, please. It's good. And then, and he shows you how to hold it like that. All right. Yeah. That's a stretch, but it'll do.
Oh, excellent. So, how much would it cost to? We're not looking for anything fancy, right? We just want something durable and something that'll take a hit for 5.
He walks over and starts talking to Holgar.
Friends and family discount?
And Holgar sticks out kind of like a gnarled, like, finger at you like that.
Or not? Sorry.
So probably about 400 gold
For both of them, or
for both of them.
Okay.
It's a lot of work.
We can pay you now and pick it up when you're done.
No objections there.
All right. Do you want diamonds or gold pieces?
Take the diamonds. I apparently like diamonds.
Okay. Those weren't earmarked for anything, were they?
No.
No. Okay, so
Just read about my spells, that's all.
I forget. I gotta find where the diamonds are.
We will
The
never
diamonds
ever
that you
use
picked
the
up off the
Revivify.
ground.
Yeah,
You're gonna
370
go straight to
gold
True
pieces worth of
Resurrection, which
diamonds.
takes way more
Okay.
diamonds.
So I'll give him 370 gold. All the diamonds I have, which comes out to 370 gold pieces worth,
Okay.
and then 30 gold on top of
pieces.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Holgar sticks out like an elaborate jeweler's loop and shakes him around on a tray. Good.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Can we
Get
get a
a
receipt for that? Yeah.
They're writing things out. That's no problem. It'll probably be a week for one, and then a little more time for the next. Probably 11 days total.
All right.
That's good. I've been working with Dragonhide for a while. It's
Thank you
like
very
going
much. I
down the ground.
appreciate it.
Yes, you're welcome.
Can you do me a favor?
Yes.
So
Sure.
I'll take out the my own maker's mark
Mhm.
that I use for my own tinkering, and it's the tree, the grand old
Mhm.
tree symbol.
Yeah.
Can you reproduce this on the chest of my armor?
I mean, it's fine as long as you're not going to take credit for all the leather work.
Yeah, no, I'm not. It's just the symbol means something to me, and I would just like to have that symbol on the armor.
Holgar taps him on the shoulder to do that. That's a good one. Sure.
Thank you.
That's
I
fine.
appreciate it.
Yeah, whoever does your leather work, whoever skins animals for you,
Oh yeah.
a bit messy on the inside, don't you think? And, you know, there's a few like ragged kind of flaps like this.
Yeah.
You gotta really, if you ever need to see how it's done one of these days, you know, I can show you how to do it a little bit cleaner than that.
Ah.
You know,
That'd be helpful.
nothing here is going to hurt the hide, but it could be a lot nicer to work with.
Okay, that's good. Good to know. Good to know. I mean, we were kind of in a hurry when we did that, but
Yeah.
all right. Thank you.
Mhm.
We'll take that into consideration.
All right. What's Ember's doing
Free
back in the
advice.
tower? Or Aurora doing in the tower? Wrong person. The one to you.
Yeah, the one
Right.
person.
Yes. I know.
He did not want to like make armor out of.
Why doesn't have any dragon armor? He's doing fine with his magic with chainmail armor.
All those poor rocks.
That's right. Okay, so what's Aurora doing back in the tower?
She is.
Where'd it go?
Honestly, she's. Well, either she's not in the tower or she's sleeping.
Okay.
Trying to determine which of the two things she's done.
If she's not in the tower, where's she going to go?
Back to the monastery.
Back to the monastery all the way out to Tabaxi Land?
Yep.
Okay. Up to you. We've got 10 minutes to closing action here, people, so if this
Yeah.
is something we want to do in a couple minutes, this is the time to do it. If you
Good.
think you need more than a couple minutes, probably not the time to do it.
Yeah, I think it would be more than a couple minutes, so she's probably not doing that tonight. She's probably just thinking about things.
Okay.
Like, she's thinking about, well, I did technically eat one of our enemy's legs once, but on the other hand, it was made out of, you know, delicious things.
Okay.
But she didn't walk around wearing its skin afterwards, which is abjectly a disgusting thing to do.
But she does realize the leather armor is skin. It's hide.
She doesn't wear leather armor.
Yeah, but everyone else around her does. He don't
Well-
wear metal. The
Boots.
Boots.
How about like my cats after they eat, they usually like to groom themselves, make themselves smell like their food.
Yeah.
Most
So we're just
exceptional
wearing your
supplies.
food. That's all.
She doesn't wear shoes either, if you remember. She's just thinking on that.
The nature of skin wearing.
Yeah, the nature of skin wearing. And just meditating and drinking. You know, she's got to drink as much as she can before she becomes immune to poison.
That's a good point. You don't want to lose out on that toxicity while you can. That's a good point. Okay, Arvin, you went back to the You went back to the tower, right?
Well, I rolled a 3, which gave me an 8 total, so I'm probably still stuck in my dorm room going,
you had kind of a long moment of frustration where you were too busy thinking about Captain Raider and the fact that you really wanted to punch him in the face. And you were able to eventually break down your block and just get through the tower, but you know, mentally muddy.
Alright. I'm back in the tower.
Back in the tower. What are you gonna do?
Well, to the best of my knowledge, everybody is still here, so I'm going to be looking for them.
Okay. You have this intercom thing now, right? This paging system.
Aurora?
What's up?
Oh, you're still here. Okay.
Yeah, I'm still here. The other two are off making their skin armor.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, I was just checking to make sure everybody was still here.
Yeah, where are you?
I just got here.
Oh, so you're down in the main room.
Yeah.
Meet me in the kitchen.
Okay.
You guys are in the kitchen. So now that you've both arrived at the kitchen,
Yeah.
There is now some food there, which you guys have put there.
Okay,
Doesn't look so terrible.
I'm gonna need some of this.
There you go.
So are you feeling any better?
I'm feeling a lot better.
Yeah.
I'm feeling a lot better.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to make light of the decisions that you had to make, but
No,
it
I
just
understand.
seemed like I was the one that was morally okay with removing that necklace, so that's why I did it without asking the rest of you if it was okay first.
No, that's perfectly fine, and in the end, it worked out beautifully. That's exactly what needed to happen. I was just worried that we had not explored any other option, and
Yes.
mostly I was worried that I somehow aided the Lord of Darkness, and what that meant for myself, my beliefs.
Well, there's always the danger of accidentally aiding evil whenever you try to do anything good.
But no, this was a good thing, and you made the right call removing that necklace.
Embers? Embers, are you here?
No, Embers isn't here right now. She's out making skin armor.
Do you know where she went?
No, to a place where people make armor, which I don't care about.
Where exactly are you at?
I'm in the dining hall.
All right.
Do we come back?
Yeah, I mean, we
Yeah,
come
we
back.
come
Yeah.
back.
Okay, so you guys are coming back. So you were down in the main room when Faxman arrives in the kitchen. So he looks a little bit frazzled. He's just otherwise about the same. So did either of you go into the Azure room with Theophraxis earlier?
I did.
Were there a lot of things there?
Yeah. That's where I got the staff that I asked you if I could have.
That's right, that's right. Didn't look like if anything had been taken out of plates, anything like that.
Am I there?
Would you,
No, we just arrived
you
at
guys
the
I
just
mean,
went
I
to
wouldn't know because I don't know what the room looked like
You guys would go
before.
to the
There was a
kitchen.
chest overflowing with gold. There was a necklace. There was a sword. There was a staff.
My inventory, I don't keep inventory. There's really not a record of what's supposed to go in which room where, and there's a couple of rooms that look like they're really disheveled and have been picked through, and I'm missing things. A lot of things.
So you think that maybe a thief has found the door then?
I really need to talk to Embers about this, but I'm worried about some things that have happened, and
Honestly, probably head to the kitchen.
And as you guys are arriving at about this point, saying, the good news is that Gadsfill is back, so we shouldn't have as many of these issues again, but I'm really concerned that there's some things that are missing. Like Embers and Theophraxis are walking behind him while he's talking to the two of you. So I really don't know
What's missing?
Yeah, what's missing?
Embers. Some items, magical items.
Any details on this, or just magic stuff?
Which
gone?
room?
Well, I have the necklace, but I asked for that.
No, it's not like that.
Which room?
There's a carnelian room. Do you know what the carnelian room looks like?
She just waves her hand and goes to it.
Okay, so doesn't want to go. You gotta walk
Does it
out to
work
the
that way?
hallway. You gotta walk out to
can't just
the
do that.
staircase.
Okay, so I just immediately take off for that room.
Pardon me. And he walks out into the hallway.
Where are you guys going?
The carnelian room, apparently.
Do we get there?
Yeah, you get there.
So I'm
There's-
gonna go in there and do an Arcana check.
Okay. The room, as you see it, has several large pedestals,
Mm-hmm.
and there is one crystal case at the back. All of these pedestals are empty, and the crystal case is empty.
So yeah, I'm gonna do
I'm gonna try to find the carnelian.
Okay. Go ahead and make an intelligence check.
6.
Okay. 8. All right. Not going super great. You're back. You just like loop back around and then back in the kitchen.
Come on, Tower, carnelian room. Work with me here.
I don't know if they want you going with them.
Arvin's going for it.
They
Yep.
said they need help.
Okay. Are you taking Theo with you?
Oh,
Nice.
22.
Okay.
Do you have
Are you
detect
taking
magic?
anybody with you, or you just go by yourself?
Yes, anybody that wants to come along.
Did you find it?
Yes.
Hey.
What are you doing?
Guess I'll go with them because
Alright.
everybody else is going now.
So you walk into a
Peer
room, it's
pressure is
carnelian
fine.
because the
Yeah.
walls have like this iridescent red sheen to them all around. There are 5 pillars like this. They're like display pillars, like in a museum. The last one has a crystal case on it. There's nothing on any of them. Okay, so what were you attempting to ascertain with your Arcana check?
Well, it probably failed, but basically, if there's any lingering magic.
Okay. So your opinion is there is not, from what you've seen. In fact, we're standing here in the middle. So, you've all gotten quite good at using the tower, that's nice. A little bit inconvenient right now, but only because of the fact that... Anyways, how much do you want to talk about this, one way or the other?
It's fine.
There's a elven lady who remembers Mentor, and she is also an exceptional thief, and I think that she was running the tower.
Oh,
I don't know at what point, because it could have been any point in the last, let's say 5 years. Probably longer than that. I'm sure I've been in this room in the last 5 years, but I don't know when.
what did she steal?
I'm not exactly certain, but these pillows were probably places where I kept things that were important and highly magical. And I think at least one of these things was sentient. Like a magical item that has a personality, thinks for itself, does things as it wants to, is immensely powerful.
I didn't know such things existed.
Kind of had that just kind of sitting.
Oh yes, there are
around.
several
Sitting around in
sentient
a
magical
tower
items
that very
in the
few people
world.
can enter, with a special room that you have to know where it is to find it.
But her thief mentor came in here and took it.
Okay.
For instance, there's the story
Is
of
Is
the
she like
Golden
really
Heart.
that?
Have you? Well, obviously you've
there
not
were
heard of
extenuating
it.
circumstances.
At any rate, the Golden Heart was sentient. Long story short.
I see.
This is somewhat like that. But, anyways.
It was also cursed. That's
Are these things cursed?
I don't
I'm
think
gonna
so.
do an investigation.
because anybody
on
that started playing it
the
had to
crystal
continue
one to
playing
see
it.
if I
Oh,
can
wow.
determine maybe
That's horrible.
if it was robbed a long time ago, if it was kind of recent, like by looking at dust
Sure,
and stuff
yeah.
like that.
What's she looking for?
You
I didn't get a 1, I got a 2 this time.
What's she looking
Roll
for?
one more time. You can take advantage because this is again kind of within your bailiwick. I decided to drink water.
3?
Here, I give inspiration
Did you
to a
actually
player.
roll?
Yay, she
No, I
has.
That
was
is
thinking
totally
I
a
was
thing you
gonna
can do. Yeah.
Well, that was a 13 this time, so do I get advantage and roll again? Like
Yeah,
3
sure,
times
let's do that
advantage?
because we'll just give you Triceratops. I mean, how could this be bad?
13.
You're
I got a
being-
1, 2, 3.
You know what the hardest part here is you're being asked to search for tracks of the woman who taught you how not to leave tracks, and you know you are looking as hard as you can, but there is no chance Aelin left something that you would find. The good news is you think you've been in this room before, and you seem to recall what was in here as being a large, translucent green orb that had kind of like an interior light. And it had, if you recall, the image of a dragon emblazoned upon it.
Do I remember what kind of dragon?
It's more like a sculpture dragon than anything else. Like it might have been supposed to be a metallic dragon, it might have been supposed to be chromatic, but the entire orb was green, so you would have to say green dragon if you had to do a dragon. Triceratops. Alright. I take joy in Triceratops.
Dinosaurs are
all
awesome.
Ceratops.
So there was an orb with a green dragon upon it.
That's all your info right now. So
Yes.
So, do we? I mean, are these things important? Do we need to get it back?
I don't think that's a very good idea. I don't think this is going to be one of those things you can just get back. But I do think you need to be aware of the fact that there might be other things missing from the tower.
Should we go looking at it? I don't know how good that would do for us.
What I'm politely telling you is that the lady that we're discussing is very talented as a magus and is likely... I really don't think she would hesitate to kill someone if she had to.
Oh no.
In addition, she has at least 5 magical artifacts, which she's either sold, which is likely, or that are in her possession, and potentially she could use against you.
So
I
what?
really don't think so.
What? Is there anything we can help to do to prevent this from happening again?
I could like maybe lay some traps or build some more defenses.
If you were to leave a trap in this room, Aelin would either make the trap disappear, she would take the item out using her mind and just walk out of the room, or she would disintegrate the room if she had to in order to take the one item. She's not scrupled. She doesn't mind causing panic or harm, but the real problem is just the fact that she's had too long to be familiar with the tower. I think it would be a sincere struggle if she was in the tower to keep her out.
Is there a way, it might require really high magic, but is there a way to move the rooms inside the tower, change the layout?
It kind of does that, but I don't know that anything really physically moves. But finding things can become more difficult.
I guess we should change what's in each room, put it somewhere else.
That might be an idea. That's probably the simplest and best idea that I can think of. Anyways, this isn't really something you need to do anything about. I just want you to be aware of the fact that there could be other things that are missing here in the tower. And there could be other things that are here in the tower that weren't here before. But you all know that I was unwell for a good period of time. In between that and the recent problems with having Gadsfellow gone, and then now he's back, which is excellent. A lot of things I'm just uncertain of in the tower itself.
How, I'm sorry, how did this person find out about the tower?
It's a really long story. She's again a very talented wizard. Mages probably better. But a long time now. I don't mean to be terribly vague, but I don't think it's going to really help her in the investigation. It's somewhat personal. Entirely personal. So, nothing else really to see in this room. I just wanted to confirm that we didn't know where these things were, and I wanted to have a brief word with Embers about the fact that I thought she needed to be careful about Aelin, and I think she knows that, but sometimes you have to be reminded of the people you have to be careful of. Sometimes you can't trust what you think you do. Alright, well, good night. Kind of like drifts out of the room.
So this former master's master a little scary,
Mm-hmm.
kind of powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Likes to blow things up.
If
I don't know if she likes to blow things up, more
Disintegrate
like
things.
improve things.
if Faxburn asks us, would you have any reservations to hunting her?
Oh no, I've been trying to do that for a while now.
I see.
Huh.
In fact, what time is it?
Nightish. 8 p.m., 9 p.m.
There's a lot of people in East Keep? East Tower?
East Keep?
East Keep? Let's go there.
You think she's there?
No, but I think information might be there. It's the only way we're gonna find her, is if someone's seen her.
I'm okay with that.
I have business I have to attend to there tomorrow, I guess.
So you guys
Rest first.
rest?
and then-
Well, yes.
I don't know how much help I'll be in this quest that you have.
Do you claw things? Hit things? Kill things?
Yes, but we're going to need to fight people in Eastkeep.
No, we're not gonna fight them. We're just gonna talk to them right now.
Let's talk to them. And
Right, and I
Honestly-
will not be of much use in that.
yeah, but out of everyone here, I mean, let's face it, you're probably the most outgoing of us all.
I am very friendly.
You are very friendly.
And you can hold your liquor down, which might come in handy. Wait, can't
There's
you hold
liquor?
your liquor down?
Depends.
There's liquor involved in this?
Sometimes. It helps loosen people's tongues.
Maybe we should go tonight then.
An excellent place to pick up next time. All the Infinity Tower. Ba-boom. Alright. Thank you guys, as always. Fun playing with you guys. I missed you guys last week. Next time on Infinity Tower, hopefully back at our normal Tuesday time. Did we successfully do a Twitch broadcast?
Somewhat.
Okay, cool.
A lot of delay and a lot of static, but
Okay.
it was on there.
I love this song, but I'm going to bring this down because again, we've had huge technical issues. Scooter's fixing them all. We're just sitting here rolling dice and like talking this whole time. Did we even roll any dice tonight? Like one time?
I
not a
rolled
lot.
like
We rolled
a
couple.
lot of ones
Okay.
and twos.
Like investigation.
She had a roll.
Like a couple dice, which is fine.
Yeah, I did not roll very often.
It's okay. But we got everything going. We got our story
got
beats in line.
everything.
And again, thanks to Scooter for making things happen. If this appears at a later date on the internet, now we know why. It's because he's working hard and we're just over here rolling dice. So thank you everybody once again, and check us out on TimeToTabletop.com. Follow us on Twitter, #InfinityTower, on every show just for the heck of it. Let's see. That's pretty much it, right? Make time to tabletop.